We can wait for a couple people to come in,
For sure, for sure.
and then we'll start it out. In fact, let me hide that real quick while I send out. See who we get in the chat tonight to join our little discussion. Bloody Bones is here. Bloody Bones
Bloody
is gonna
Bones.
film something with us today. Let me see here. Just gotta send out this tweet. We're actually gonna film an episode too for the Cagman's channel. So if you've never been on the Cagman's channel, now's a good time to get it.
What up, Bloody Bones? What up, Super Miguel? Who else is in there? G Gary, how you doing? Hero 3.
So some people are coming in. That's good.
I gotta get playing my amped up music here.
All right. Bloody Bones. Hey, I missed your earlier stream. I was in the middle of beating a Famicom game on the Switch. Oh yeah, what one? Not pickups. We're gonna talk about the video game awards, what we thought was bullcrap, what we thought was good. Hit the highlights, but we want to hear from you guys as well. And we're recording this video, so wait for a couple more people. So we need you guys to interact. Let us know your opinions.
How about chat? My wife made some chili. I didn't even get a chance to get any of it yet. Good late night snack tonight. There's some stuff that might help with your breathing, Joel. I meant to tell you about it. It's dandelion tea.
Oh yeah, I do it.
And it is
Appreciate it.
It's really, really awesome.
Yeah, breathing is crazy, but it's getting better. Sega is back. Yeah, we'll get to that. We're gonna get to that. All right, so this is for Cag's channel.
Oh hi.
Oh, let me.
EG Legends, what's up, brother?
Let me mute this girl.
Axiom, how are you doing, Axiom?
I have the actual show up, so when we're talking, we're not gonna watch the show, but we'll just jump from thing to thing.
Yep.
When we're talking about it, if it's somewhat in order. I don't know why these hosts can't get like decent dresses. Why do they always like fluffy little Muppets? I don't understand. But anyway, every year. Don't play silly looking games, but the fun gameplay got me hooked. I spent 4 hours beating it. I couldn't put it down. It's called Joy Mech Fighting. Nice. I have not heard of that one. So, all right. So, Cag, this is your show. We'll let you run it.
All right, cool.
Whenever you're ready.
Let me know when you're ready so I can introduce you and everything.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. You want to do on your 3? What do you do? 1, 2, 3. Go. Hey YouTube, I am back with another and new video today, and I actually have a guest here, the infamous man at hour, Joe Valley, right there from Media Glitch. We're going to be talking about how we feel about the Game Awards. We've given it a couple days now for it to kind of simmer down. Everybody did videos instantly after it went down and said what they had to say, but we actually got to digest it and actually form a better opinion on what the Game Awards was and what they showed. So we're kind of going to talk about that today. I'm going to let Joel introduce himself and talk about his channel and everything real quick so you guys can go and subscribe to him, and then we'll jump right into it. Joel, it's all you.
Yeah, Joel Valley here from Media Glitch, and of course, I try to do reviews when I can. It's all over the place. It could be retro, it could be new. On Saturday nights, we try to stream. We actually streamed every Saturday night for about 2 years. CAG, Radical Reggie, John, and myself. But we all got into life. Life got busy just recently, and I'm a filmmaker as well, so I do feature films, and I had to go into a film, which I just got back from set right now, filming a horror anthology, so that's fun. But yeah, so if you love gaming, you love my channel. That's about it.
Absolutely, guys. Go ahead and give Joel a follow over at the Media Glitch channel over on YouTube. And then also, we usually do stream on Twitch also, but we kind of do both. But give him a follow over on Twitch also. We would definitely appreciate that. Joel's a great friend of mine. And as Joel mentioned, Radical Reggie and John from Intrigue Gaming are also a part of the Media Glitch crew. They couldn't be here tonight, but normally we are all together doing this content. But we're going to talk about the Game Awards tonight. We're going to interact with the chat and see what the chat feels about it, and then we're gonna just keep it going.
Yep, it's Krillin's birthday. Let's just say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Krillin.
So,
how old you turning? 50? No.
He's got to be at least 80. We got Blue X in the house. What's up? Super Miguel,
Absolutely. This looks like everybody is kind of
Bloody
filtering
Bones, VG Legends, who had to cancel his own stream just to be here tonight. Just kidding. I saw his tweet earlier. So,
right, so right. This I think is what was it the 11th Game Awards?
No, it's the 9th. I think it's the 9th because I think the next one's an anniversary, 10th.
Okay, so the 10th is coming up. Excuse me.
Don't quote me on that because I don't freaking care. Like I don't know what year, but I felt like I heard him say something at the end.
Yeah, I do know there's an anniversary coming up. I didn't get a chance to find out which one it was, but it seems like with the Game Awards, every year it has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And this particular Game Awards to me felt like a Hollywood event. For beginning to end, it kind of had like the pre-Game Awards, the red carpet type thing.
Yeah.
Then it went into the Game Awards, and how it was just produced, it was just like more of like a black tie event, it seems like, for this Game Awards. But nonetheless, I thought, it started off pretty good. How about you, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan of the pre-show, honestly, except for one thing, which we can talk about. They gave some awards away. A lot of titles I was just like, I don't see myself playing them, in all honesty. And yeah, I just saw that flash up. A lot of Netflix games. It's like Netflix is having a game. I don't know anything about that. What they're doing, what the plan is. Is that a subscription? Does it come with Netflix? Stuff like that. I have no idea. Do you know anything about that?
You know what? I haven't got into it. I do know it's a streaming service. But at this point, I am kind of exhausted in services. So I do have a Netflix account, but I doubt I'll ever even like dive into any type of streaming with Netflix. So unfortunately, no, I didn't even get a chance to look at it. But in the chat, if you guys know anything about the whole Netflix streaming, let us know because I hear about it, but I haven't touched it yet.
But like, it did feel like a Hollywood event. They're bringing on the actors too. Actors are getting in on it, and pretty high profile one this year. I don't know if you want to talk about that now or not, but
yeah, who are you talking about, the actors or whatnot? Or
yeah.
The person I saw, who did I see? Shang-Chi, the guy who played Shang-Chi. What's
Yeah.
his name? He came out in like a boot, and then we had was it oh God, what's his Jordan? What's his last name?
Jordan Peele, man.
Yeah, Jordan Peele. I thought it was dope, and for him to be collabing with
Are we getting ahead of
uh,
ourselves?
no. But just for him to be collabing, well, we'll leave that for later on. You're right about that. That's kind of far in. But yeah, I saw a lot of stars and a lot of people that I was interested. Who did you see?
Oh no. I mean, Jordan would be big, but Matthew McConaughey,
Oh yeah, he has a game coming out.
yeah,
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
stuff
yep,
like
Matthew
that. I was like,
McConaughey.
dang.
Well, Matthew McConaughey was getting that Lincoln money from all those car commercials. Now he has to get video game money, so he has to make it
Exactly.
up somewhere.
Exactly. But yeah, the event, I mean, it's well produced. It's done.
Yeah,
Probably way more security so that little kid doesn't get on stage again. I didn't see
right.
any blunders or nothing. So as far as like presentation and everything, I think they did a good job.
Yeah, they did a good job with presentation. The biggest gripe that was going around social media days after was the amount of time that they were giving the presenters. People were talking, and then they started playing the "It's Time to Move On" music like so fast on so many people. So I was like, but you got to keep it along. I mean, you only have a certain amount of time on TV,
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't make that time, you get hit with tons of overages, tons of fines. So I can
Right.
understand them doing that. Absolutely. Let's see here, looking at the chat there. All right, cool.
I'm gonna get to you, VG. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I was supposed to call him about my Genesis stuff. He wants to purchase it.
Oh,
Yep.
gotcha. What's up, Joe Rad? Everybody in the chat.
Oh, is Joe Rad here? Did he want to come in? Because we had
Yeah,
talked
Joe
about
Rad
that.
just popped in. Yeah, he could definitely come in.
Joe Rad, let us know if you want to come in. I guess I just have to figure out that whole Discord thing, right? Just need your
Yeah.
Discord name or something. By you in. All right. So where do you want to begin with this?
All right, so that's a good question. I'm reading the chat here, and just wanted to shout out Heavy Metal came in. He said, "I haven't watched an award show of any kind in over 20 years. They're all absolute trash." And then Super McGill said Netflix has cell phone games now, and definitely not interested in that. There's a whole bunch of garbage right there. So let's
Can we talk about pre-show?
Yeah, we can talk about pre-show. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you handle the pre-show, Joe.
Yeah, so like the pre-show, even stuff you see here that's happening, I didn't really care much about. There weren't very many games. They did announce like a oh, you know what? I take that back. I do think that they have one game here that I thought that's awesome that they're doing it. And basically, what it is it's a game that's signing the whole time. And I just did that. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's if you're deaf, you can play this game and experience it. You know what I mean? And so I thought that's great. I am always like an advocate of people who might not be able to play games like we play games and experience the games that we can in with our capacity. I remember there was someone on our stream who only has one hand, and I can't remember who that was. And how they play Street Fighter. And I met a guy at GameStop one day, and he showed me how he plays fighting games like this. And he only has one hand, and he controls. And it's just like, awesome. So I think that deaf people can experience a game in a totally different way. I think that was pretty cool that they did that, And I didn't hear anyone talk about that. I think that's good because I think this medium is so huge, so big that if you can avoid, if you can make games like this, I guess, to include everyone, that's cool. Whether the game will be good or not remains to be seen. They did announce, I believe, Persona 3, some sort of maybe a remaster or something coming. let's see, Persona 3 Reload. I'm not sure what that all entails. It's coming out in February. So Persona 5 3, play Persona today, blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, that's all. That's okay. That's good. But then, like a pre-show game, I was actually surprised that it was just a pre-show. They just drop it like it's no thing, which I think it should have been in the real show. And this is a game from Persona makers, of course, Atlas. A brand new game, and it's not Persona. It's totally different. It's someone from the from the creators of Persona 3, 4, 5, and it looks great. The animation looks great. It's a different style of art. And then if you see the footage, you can see that it incorporates both like action RPG and turn-based RPG, which I thought was really interesting. They got the Nier Automata concept artist. Look at all these names, these composers. They even got the guy from Neo Genesis, Evangelion, Neon Genesis. Like they got some really heavy hitters behind this thing. And I'm just like, okay, you got my attention. You got my attention.
Right.
And they just threw it out there like it wasn't anything, you know? But I think this is the game they've been working on while they're doing all these like remasters, remakes, Persona 5. Like they probably haven't been working on Persona 6. They've been working on this. And it's so crazy because, just to drop it in the pregame, the pre-award show, like it was nothing. And I'm like, geez, oh, Pete, man, this could have definitely been in the show. But I get it, like it already ran long, the show. They had to cut corners wherever they could. And so us RPG players always gets pushed to the side,
Well, what did you think about the Persona 3 Reloaded? I mean, obviously you're talking about, those games too. But did that excite you also?
Well, I need to play 3. I've only beat 1 and 2. Okay. And I played 5. So like 4, I hear, is it Persona 4 Gold? Is that the one that everyone?
I think it's 5 Gold. No,
I think it's 4 Gold. 5 is
it 4?
5 is something else. It's 5. The other one they did, but I hear that one is like the magnum opus. And I did play a little bit of 5. Actually, I played like 10 hours. 4 is golden. It says yes. 5 is Royale. That's what the chat's saying.
Okay, yeah, Persona 4
Did Joe ever say he wanted to come in with us?
No, he hasn't mentioned anything yet.
All right. So, yeah. So, I do want to get to those games. It's just, there's just so much. There's so much to play. It's hard.
Right.
I mean, around the corner, he said I can come in. You need my Discord. Yes. So, yeah, because Ease is right around the corner. Ease 10. And that's going to take the rest of my life. I still haven't even beat Final Fantasy 16. But as far as a pre-show, that's cool. If you want, CAG, I can like flip to like the games if you want. Because right now we're at the point where they start the game. Oh, so they have Chris Judge come out. If you don't know, I did a interview with him on my channel, with him and Thor, he plays God of War, Kratos, and I did an interview with Thor as well. So you can check that out. But they immediately when he got on, they started playing the music.
Yeah,
that was such a good joke because he took the longest time to do a speech last year, and he got ridiculed for an 8-minute speech.
So the funny thing about when he got on, what did you think about the Call of Duty joke? I thought it was hilarious. A lot of people didn't like it, but I thought, those are the type of things that make award shows funny. You take jabs at other creators and stuff like that.
Right.
It's all meant in fun, but some people took it bad. But I thought it was hilarious.
How long? See, I don't know. I haven't played the campaign. My son wants it. I asked CAG, "Is it good? Is it really short?" I thought I started rolling when he said it because I was like, "Yes."
So it is. So it came out that this game was actually supposed to be a DLC for Modern Warfare 2, but when the whole Microsoft purchase and stuff was going through, they wanted to make it into like a full game. So they gave them, I think it was like 18 months to make this DLC into a full game. So they did the best they could. So I think it's like 3.5, 4 hours, depending on how you play. Everybody's play style is a little bit different and how you do things. But I thought it was hilarious. And you need to do that. I think you got to take
Just
jabs at other creators.
Go off the you know, the monitor. What gosh, it's crazy. What are they called? I use them every single
teleprompter.
Day. Teleprompter. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's funny. We literally use them every day. And I can't think of the name. Yeah, just go off, right? Just go off for a second.
Yeah, I thought it was good, man, and it was a good joke because it made light of his long speech, but it also made, you know, fun of something that was kind of big, you know, in his release, you know, so there's nothing wrong with that. And then he also announced the new, and I know, Joe, you're probably not gonna care anything about this, but the new God of War DLC.
The Ragnarok stuff?
Which is Valhalla. Yeah, God of War, Ragnarok, Valhalla.
I thought it looked
DLC,
like a boss rush mode.
Which is free.
Did Joe Rad send me his? Cost. Joe Rad, send me your... you can send it through Facebook or you can send it... Here, I need your Discord, though.
And then reading the chat here, Super Miguel says the joke was great and facts. I mean, it was funny, but it was factual. The game is not bad. It's short. For me, a 4 to 5 hour campaign, I'm cool with that. I'm 42 years old. I ain't got much time.
I feel like it's okay if
more than that.
If the multiplayer is what you came for.
Yes, and that's what people came for Call of Duty, right?
So
the multiplayer is where it's at.
But if like Final Fantasy released a game, could you imagine? And it was 4 hours long. Oh my god!
If it was $20, people probably wouldn't care.
But
if it was 70, it would be an uprising. They'd be like, "What? What is this?" You know.
I don't know if that's gonna mess. All right, to add him, I think it's gonna mess up the stream for a minute.
No, you're good. We can pick up when he comes in.
So, do I? I guess I
see him. I agree.
There it goes. There it goes.
This Call of Duty should have been $49.99.
Didn't work. Check the username. I put Joe Rad.
Best part. It should have been $49.99. I think that when Microsoft came in and put the proposal to buy Activision.
Success. You sent Joe Rad. Okay, real Joe Rad. I was just sent. Let me know.
Call of Duty was probably the last game that was going to be Activision and the CEO and all the people on the board's last like actual money going to them and not to Microsoft. And I think that's why they did it. You know what I'm saying? Once it got up under Microsoft, that money was going to be broken up. So I think that was like their last slice of the pie before the merger went through. And that's why I think they rushed it out. That's just me speculating. I don't know. But that's what it seems like. Now, Joe, you're a big RPG guy, and there was a game that they did show, and I want your opinion on that too. It's called Metaphor something Refantazio. I have no idea.
That's that Atlas one.
Is that the Atlas game?
Yeah.
I thought it was called something else.
I think so. I can go double check real quick. Let me see. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm thinking something different. Oh, that's when all right came out. All right, here, hold on. Let's see here. Maybe it wasn't called Metaphor.
It could have been. I couldn't. It's a longer name that I saw, which had me asking that question.
Playback speed, everybody.
Which this game looks like.
Metaphor.
Okay, so. That's the other game. Part of the name is right there below it. That's the full name.
Yeah, Refantazio.
Okay, cool.
Joe Rad accepted. We're gonna get on with this, guys. Kag's just gonna have to edit all this stuff out.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Kag's like, Joel, you should do a video on the Game Awards. I was like, no, I'm on vacation. I'll record it and then you do a video.
No, I'm good. I'm working with an editor now, Joel, from Fiverr.
Oh, nice.
So And this guy showed me some of his work and top notch. So don't worry, it'll be okay.
All right, so Gordo just sent me some interesting info. Add friends. There he is. All right, so let me just.
I like Joe Rad's icon there. That's dope.
Let me just adjust some things. It's weird that it didn't even affect mine. Is that because I'm not using my Discord one? That's why. Which
PG Legend said, yes, the Atlas game coming out, the action RPG coming out. It's awesome. It does look awesome, for sure.
All right, and then
Super Miguel, I think
I don't think your mic's working, Joe Rad.
I think going into the merger, I think Microsoft should have made the game dirt cheap just to get more people to come in.
Oh, snap. That,
and,
look at he just hijacked the whole stream. He took. We can't hear your mic, though, still. This dude came in and was like, Cag who? It's all good. Let me duplicate this bad boy.
I like that Evil Dead hat he has on. That's dope.
No. Do you know how to do Discord? Apparently not. Okay.
How about now?
Now I hear you.
I hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, I did turn off push to talk.
I'm gonna have to make you a little smaller.
That's fine.
So, and then
I've never used Discord for streaming before, so yeah, this is new to me for streaming.
What do you guys usually use? Like StreamYard or something?
Yeah, StreamYard.
Yeah. Which I was gonna do, and I should have done. It would have been a lot easier. But I don't know. I was just lazy tonight.
That's all good, man.
So, all right, guys, everyone, welcome Joe Rad. Joe Rad, tell us a little bit about your channel.
Hey, what's going on? I mean, it's kind of weird. I have my own Twitch channel where I stream games and stuff, but like I do the podcast on Figsy Games channel. So like, if you want to watch the podcast, you really want to watch Figsy Games. That's where like we host it per se. But like you can watch it on my channel and on Twitch. But I usually just stream like shmups and Binding of Isaac and horror games and just stuff like that. So. And Beat Saber. I'm like completely addicted to Beat Saber. So
you like to beat it, eh? A little bit.
I do, dude. I beat it off every day. Dude.
That's
every morning.
Like a true gamer. A true gamer would.
I'm like really addicted to it. Like I can't even stop. It's crazy.
I can't play it. It makes me sick.
Oh well, a lot of people have a problem with the VR in general. It just gives people motion sickness, and then it honestly does. Like if you don't play in like a well lit area. Sometimes the tracking will get all messed up and it gets like all off and it like literally makes you want to throw up immediately because like your motion sickness goes crazy because everything goes all weird. Oh
yeah. My kids love Beat Saber.
Oh, I just freaking closed down the freaking browser. Keep talking. I'll fix it.
They play it on the MetaQuest 3. They played on the MetaQuest 2, but now they have upgraded them to the MetaQuest 3. And they love it, man. They absolutely love the game. I haven't actually played it yet, but I mean, I like any music games. That's why I really wish they would bring back Guitar Hero. Waiting for that to be revised, man.
I like Guitar Hero too. I like Hatsune Miku a lot too. Like kind of embarrassing, but I don't care.
Hey, nothing is embarrassing when it comes to games, man. You get to play whatever you like, whatever your heart contends.
I believe that in the soul of every gamer lies a 12-year-old girl who's kawaii.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's funny, what we find entertaining sometimes. I got a friend. His name's his online persona. We call him Pop Heat, and he's one of those guys. He's just all about the graphics, man. If it looks good, he wants to play. It doesn't matter if the story is good or not. If it looks good, it's what he wants to play. That's all. He's a graphics whore, is what we call him. But sometimes you're like that, and then sometimes it's like those games on the Nintendo Switch that are 8 16-bit or just not as graphically intense are fun and amazing. You just can't put them down. Like I would say, Link's Awakening on the Switch has been my all-time favorite game in the last 10 years.
Really?
I could not put that game down. It looks fantastic. Everything was just absolutely stunning.
Awesome.
And I'm just like, yo, I can't put this game down. So it's funny how certain games pull you in and just make you like, oh, this is amazing.
I'm a old school Zelda fan. I like the 2D top down Zeldas. No hate to the 3D Zeldas. They're great games, but to me that's like just not what I'm looking for from Zelda, just to be honest with you. If I want to play like a 3D open world game, there's other games I'd probably play. Although I know these games are great.
Well, the one he's talking about is that.
Yeah, Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
That's why I said it. I love that one. And I like Link to the Past and the Link Between Worlds on the 3DS. Fantastic game.
You know what the best Zelda game is, though, don't you?
Oh, you're going to say Zelda, too?
100%, baby. That's my favorite.
God.
I love it. And people treat it so rough and so bad, and I really just want to punch them in their face.
No, it's a great game.
All right, well, we're not going to talk about Zelda 2 anymore because Joel lives by that game. I went and finally beat the game after Joel raved around it so long. But as a kid, that was not my favorite Zelda. My favorite Zelda was regular Zelda. But he lives by Zelda too. But Joel, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Getting back onto the Game Awards, they showed something, and I know you were super excited about it because this your game, man. You know what I'm talking about?
I did. You want to go right into that?
Oh, I got to because I need to know.
This has to be. It has to be. Are we talking about?
So we're talking about Monster Hunter Wild.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think about that, Joel? I mean, I thought it was a huge announcement for them coming out of the Monster Hunter they just released. I thought we weren't going to have another Monster Hunter game for a while, but
it is still
game out of nowhere.
It is still a ways off, but honestly, I've been expecting some sort of an announcement for the new monster because the last one was just kind of like Rise is great, 100%. Love Rise to death, but it felt like a filler monster title compared to World, right? And they incorporated a lot of cool things, new things that I hated about World. They changed and they made it all better, right? And so I was like totally happy. I'm trying to find the footage for that. I don't know the minute mark. Oh, here we go. And so I was hoping for an announcement. I didn't think it was going to be at the Game Awards. You know how Capcom sometimes does their own show?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I figured it would be there. So it was quite a surprise. It wasn't a surprise that they were going to announce that they were working on it. And
gotcha.
I was, but man, you guys know me. You know me. I put so many hundreds upon hundreds of hours into both these Monster Hunters. And it's one that's coming out for every system. Yes. You know, none of this Switch garbage. And then we have to wait, and get it on PS4 and 5 later. And that was fine because it ran way better on those systems anyway. And I felt like we got a graphical upgrade. But this, man, I can't. Oh my gosh, I want it now. That was probably. I'm trying to think if there was a bigger announcement for me. I don't think so.
What about you, Joe? I mean, are you a Monster Hunter fan? Are you into games like that?
He's like, Monster Hunter sucks.
No, I haven't played them. I do like games like that though. They're like online co-op Monster Hunter games, like you have to play with groups and like hunt stuff down. It's not like a solo game, is it? Right.
Right.
Yeah. So I got really addicted to World of Warcraft, so I'm a little hesitant to play games like that because I'm afraid I'm gonna be like Joel and put 1 million hours into it, and like so that's my concern, is that those games are so good, and like I just have a really addictive personality. Like I'm already back on the Binding of Isaac train.
Yeah.
And I just looked at my file. It's got like 4,700 hours.
Wow.
That seems so wild because I played Binding of Isaac for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. Like, and I just
Oh, yeah, dude.
so I
It's
must have
like
missed something. I guess I got to put more time into it.
So
if you want, but it's like it's what you want to get out of it, basically.
so are you in? So you're like a horror guy person from what you were saying, right? You like horror stuff.
Hmm.
So we'll go into the next game, and I would love to know your opinion about this one. And Joel definitely will chime in after you. What about Kojima's new game called OD? I mean, I know they didn't show much about it. It was just like some faces and stuff. But to know that he is collabing with Jordan Peele, and it is going to be a horror game. What's
That's
your?
gonna be
How do you
sick.
feel about that?
I'm very intrigued. So well, what you get when that guy announces a game, you know there's just going to be something different or
Mhm.
special, and like that's what I like about that. Like I don't know what to expect, and that's the best part about it. Is like I love horror games and I love his previous work, and Jordan Peele makes great movies. So I mean, all
Yes.
around, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a win to me.
What about you, Joel?
um, dude, when he came out the door, both him and Jordan, it kind of gave me shivers,
Yeah.
to know
Oh yeah.
because he did say there's other collaborators
Yep.
and working in the industry. I do know something, but I can't say.
Hmm.
And so, um, but I didn't know about Jordan, and I know about someone else. So it's gonna be awesome. But like, I was like, when he came out the door, I was just like, holy smokes, what is he creating? What is this dude creating? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on in his brain right now? You know? And so I'm super excited. I want him to just let that dude go. Let him be like, like the Primus of video games, like just release an album, whatever it sounds like, who cares? We're gonna buy it. Like, and it's gonna be weird
Exactly.
and it's gonna be crazy, but hey, let's do it. You know?
So what caught me about OD? Obviously, we don't know what it is, right? We're like, well, overdose. What are we doing here? But Joel, if you fast forward it to the footage
Yep.
of the faces, what you guys have to understand is that's Unreal Engine 5 all in game. That's not real people,
Yeah.
but you would think that's real people.
They're
Mm.
they're
So
getting teeth closer. That's where
yes.
it always falls apart for me.
Hmm.
People's teeth.
And looking at that, you're just like,
Damn, that is pretty
oh
impressive.
my god, like this looks so crazy. So I just cannot wait to find out what this game is about. I think everybody's going to want to play it, and I'm looking forward to it. And Jordan Peele signed on, like, come on. And I'm waiting to find out who else they got signed on. That's very intriguing. I wish I was in Joel's boots and I knew what he knows.
You know how many times I'm in this position?
Yeah, too
Like
many.
for so
Too
long I knew
many.
all the Spider-Men were coming into Spider-Man, like in the
Oh yeah.
last one. And I had to hold on to that secret forever,
That's
and I
tough.
had footage of it in my phone and I'm like, or like, because all the Stranger Things here and knowing all that stuff. Like that's my life. It's just like a vault because NDAs and you just can't do anything. You can't say crap. I hate it.
Yep.
Because I want to be like,
Absolutely.
because you know what? Because like my channel isn't big. Because all these other reviewers get all these like games first and they break the news. And I'm all like,
Mhm.
gosh, if I could just break the news, but then I'd be out of a job. No one would trust me.
You can only do it once
We
or
don't want
twice.
that.
That's the
Exactly.
You
problem.
know?
It's
We
not
don't
worth the
want that.
subscribers. Like I guarantee you, like a bigger YouTube, like what I make is not even. It's better than what they probably do. So I'm not.
Well, I've been watching a lot of Twitch, and apparently painting your boobs helps. Have you tried that?
Um,
Yep.
Every time I go
probably
on Twitch, I see some half-naked lady from the front page every single
Yep.
day now. So it's
Yep.
what the hell
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this?
It's unfortunate.
We don't have that
All right,
luxury.
so moving on to the next game. Now this is one I'm hyped up for. I did play the first one. The second one looks absolutely stunning. Is Hellblade 2: Senua's Sacrifice, or this one's called Saga, Senua's Saga. What do you guys think about that game? We'll go to you, Joe. Have you ever played the first one, and are you
Mhm.
interested in the second one?
Oh hell yeah! So the first one, like I thought it was one of the best looking PS4 games I've ever played. I thought it was just
Hmm.
incredible. The only complaint about the game was that it's kind of short.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of with you, Cag. Like I'm 41 going on 42, and short's fine. I don't
Yeah.
got a lot of time, bro. I'm looking at this collection. I'm like, I got like maybe 20, 30 years to play all this. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Trying to find the footage.
But yeah, it looks incredible, dude.
Here, Joel, I'm gonna send you this. This is gonna help you.
Is it a minute marker?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
I'm gonna share the link in the chat.
That ain't it. Dab nabbit. Was it on the PDF you sent?
No, it wasn't in the PDF, but
Gotcha.
I'm gonna drop it in the chat, and you can just.
I know
here
it
you
was
go.
when that crazy lady was playing on stage.
There you go. I just sent it to you in the Discord chat,
Copy that.
and it's gonna be at the 10-minute marker. It's like the 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, gotcha,
fifth,
yeah.
fifth video there. Senua Sacrifice. The first one is an amazing story. Is a story about basically, what word am I looking for? Help me out, Joe. She was stuck in her head, mental health, basically.
Right.
Is basically what it was about. And the story was amazing, man. It was absolutely amazing. It looked phenomenal. This one looks even better, and it expands upon her story and expands upon the world. The world is actually bigger and more open up in this one than the first one was. The first one was kind of on the rails, but this one here is a little off the rails. So it's opened up a lot more. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. Game absolutely looks phenomenal. But it's made by Ninja Theory, so they don't make games that look bad.
No, it looks
awesome.
really impressive. I didn't play the first one.
Mhm.
It was recommended to me to not play it because I was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia when I was young,
Mhm.
and I think like you just gotta I just kind of be careful with some things that I watch and I play. And so, but everyone was like, if you can do it, because it's amazing. No one ever said don't do it because of that, but just be ready if you are, and you're supposed to play it with headphones because you can hear all the voices that she hears in her head
Yes.
and stuff
Yep.
like that. And so, like, I'm pretty happy to have those voices out of me now, and I just no.
Takes
So-
the headphones off. He's like, oh shit. No, I'm just
I know, like, they're not
Yeah.
stopping.
Yeah, if you listen to this game in Dolby Atmos, it's insane. I mean, she's talking, and then you're hearing voices from the left
Oh.
and right side of your speaker, but different voices though. Like the left side voice is a different voice from the right side voice, and then you hear her. So the game is so immersive, and they paid praise to the game for even diving into something like mental health.
Right.
But making it open to everybody to play and understand. Because a lot of people, when you tell them that you have a mental health issue, you're schizophrenic or bipolar or whatever, they think that you can just fix that yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's not always the case. It's so much deeper. So I can't wait to play part 2. It's supposed to be coming hopefully here in 2024. They didn't give a concrete date, but hopefully we'll have it here in 2024, and hopefully Joel, Game Pass, the family Game Pass will be available, and then you'll be able to play everything that's on Game
Well,
Pass.
I have the first one, which is crazy. I have it. I just haven't played it. But I do appreciate them bringing awareness, to
Yes.
this kind of thing. Like even one of my movies, Beautiful Prison. People have reached out to me. Like people that their job on the web is to find things that bring awareness to mental stuff, and they put my movie on the list, for awareness as well. So, like I'm always down for people like, hey, if you're bringing awareness to something that people suffer with every day, or all the time, So I'm down.
Absolutely.
I'm down. I'd love to play it. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Awesome. All right, so the next game I want to talk about, which was a surprise to me, and Joe, you'll be able to show this. Shows a little bit after that one, but it's called Black Myth Wukong. Did you guys check that out, and what do you think about that?
Looks freaking amazing.
It does. It does.
This if this is the one I'm thinking, is this the Monkey King one?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I'm a huge fan of Journey to the West. I'm a huge fan of all Monkey King things. I have several of the movies all over the place. So like, but the graphics were just so like, wow, like this looks really dope. Like, and of course this is my style. This is my kind of game right here, right? And so for me, this is a no-brainer. I'll get it. Even I even got the other Monkey King one that was horrible.
I have that one too.
Yeah, like I even have that. Like if it's Monkey King, I just buy it. Like it doesn't even matter. But to see something like they took time and really, I feel like they really. Oh my gosh, look at this! What's going on here, dude?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks insane, dude.
Like I can appreciate this big time.
What about you, Joe? You're a fan of Monkey King? What are you looking forward to this game?
I'm not like, I don't have every game or anything, but I have Journey to the West. I have Enslaved. I have the actual Monkey King game, and I do know some of the folklore-ish, just because I've experienced it a few times in other ways, but I'm not an expert or anything, but it does look incredible. And I just think in general, like, we're hitting a life cycle, like the peak, where like they're finally phasing out PS4. Like I noticed that games aren't getting PS5 and just Switch releases. Sometimes they're not getting PS4. And hopefully now that the new Switch system is going to come out, they don't have to like gimp games anymore, because that's a thing I think developers have to consider right now. It's like, do I make this amazing cutting edge game that I can't sell to anyone who owns a Switch? Or we have to do like, Hogwarts Legacy and wait 6 months for the Switch version to come out, and it's like, good luck everybody. It's like, so.
Or just release the MK1 Switch version.
Yeah.
Like, you're on your own, kids.
With no faces or anything like that.
Were amazing. I thought those were jokes. I thought those were like Photoshop thumbnails that people
I did
were
too.
Making. I thought like people were making those as thumbnails, and like, no, that's from the game. I was like, oh my god.
Which Monkey King had Donnie Yen in it? That's the only Monkey King I've seen.
Movie.
Well, dude, there's so much Monkey King stuff.
Yeah, but I think only one of them had Donnie Yen though.
Right, but I don't know if it's what the name of it is.
Yeah, that's the only one I see. So I'm gonna have to get into watching
the best one.
I've
is
seen,
actually the Journey to the West. I feel like that one was done the best. I have a review on it in Media Glitch back in the old school days when we were doing movies. Reviewing movies.
I'm gonna have to look into that. All right, so the next game, what do you guys think about Dragon Balls? What is it? Sparking Zero. Any of you guys Dragon Ball fans?
Hell yeah, looks dope, dude. I'm super excited about it. I'm not into arena fighters that much either, but it looks amazing.
Yes, it reminds me of like Tenkaichi back in the day. I mean, there you go, Budokai Tenkaichi. That's what it reminds me of. So I'm happy that they're bringing something like that. I love Dragon Ball Z games. I love how open the combat is. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think this is going to be obviously going to be a hit. It's Dragon Ball Z. People just buy it because it's Dragon Ball Z. What do you think, Joe?
I don't care for Dragon Ball Z. I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z. But I'll play any Dragon Ball Z game. When you watch the trailer, it looks freaking amazing. Like, and the last one they did, which this is a different kind of fighter, right? There's Dragon Ball Fighters, and then this is one. It's kind of like the Super Nintendo days, right? When they have some games that are in the sky, some games that are on the ground.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I don't know, but I played these games.
This one's reminiscent of the PS2 games, the Tenkaichi that came out on PS2, and people have been asking for it, to come back to that style. So I think this one to do awesome. Look at Broly getting all amped there, Krillin.
Yeah, those are like the most beloved ones in the series. Those are expensive games, especially
very
crazy.
yes.
I missed out on that a couple weeks ago. I saw a marketplace ad and messaged the guy. I'm like, he's like, oh, it's sold. Oh, he had it for like $40. I was like, dude.
Oh man, that's a steal.
Yeah, I would have to drive like an hour and a half in the middle of Maine, but I would have done it.
Right. Yeah, that would have been a steal for sure.
Yeah, I missed out.
Yeah, I mean, they sell quick whenever I buy them, but I usually just sell them right off. I
Did
love.
you see they're doing a Kakarot? They're doing a complete edition in Japan with all the DLC too. They just announced that physically. If you like Kakarot,
Sorry
which
about
I
that.
did like that game. Did you play Kakarot, Keg?
Kakarot. No, I don't think I played that one. What was that? What system was that on?
PS4. I don't know if it's on the Switch. It's definitely on PS4, but it probably is on the Switch too. But they just like it's more like an open world game. It's not like a fighting game.
Oh no! Yeah, I played that one.
Yeah.
That's the collector's edition that came with the yellow case with the Dragon Balls on it. Yes, I mean the orange case. Excuse me. Yes, I did play that one. I played it for very little. I didn't really get into it. I kind of moved on a little too fast from that one, but yeah, I did play it.
That's all my games, man. I'm not gonna even pretend like I finish my games. I play.
I had to look
10
that
games a
up
week.
because I didn't know what it was. It's a Dragon Ball game. That's why.
Yeah.
But I mean, this looks dope. If Kag's like, bro, this is fighting next level, you got to get it. I'll get it. You know.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm a Dragon Warrior fan. It's same art style, right? Same guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, to me, it's very familiar. As art and art direction and stuff. So
I like your OG. You still call it Dragon Warrior. That's what I call it too.
yeah,
That's
did
what
I
was
do it? Did I
raised.
do that? Dragon
Yeah, Warrior, baby. It is Dragon Warrior. I remember being so confused when Dragon Quest VIII came out on PS2. I'm like, "Frick is this? This is Dragon." I was so confused by that name change thing. So
We're gonna get to it, Sticks.
So
Everyone keeps bringing up.
We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and get to it now. This
We
is
should
the
because
fifth-
everyone.
the fifth time that somebody said something about it. So Joel's at the 12 minute and 30-second mark,
Okay.
or somewhere around that point. So we're gonna get to one of the most talked about videos of all of the Game Awards, and this is Sega putting his foot on your throat and saying, "Use my bitch," and I'm back. That's what they said. They came through the door, coming through the door with my 4-4, knocked it all down, and said, "Hey, I'm back in the building," and I lost my mind. I completely lost it. That shows you that I'm a 40-year-old gamer.
Right.
Everything they showed got me all just stimulated,
Exactly.
man. I was like, yo, what? Where did this come from? Like, and the crazy thing is they showed gameplay from these games.
Yeah.
They didn't just talk about it. They showed, hey, we already doing this.
Mm.
And
It
when I
looks sick,
saw
too. Crazy Taxi looks sick.
Crazy Taxi looked amazing, but I saw one game in there that just made me want to do this video with Joel. And that's why I came to Joel and I said, Joel, do you want to do this video? And honestly, as soon as I saw this one game, my boy came in my mind. I was like, I gotta talk to Joel about this. Shinobi. What the hell?
Oh, yeah,
Joel,
right.
tell me, what is good? It looks amazing, dude. What?
So, when the Game Awards were going on, I was at a party, right? And
Yes.
I'm sitting there, and I got my meal in front of me and talking to people. And Gordo was like, "Bro, they just teased Shinobi and Golden Axe at the Game Awards." I was just like, I was just sitting there, like, looking at
Excuse
that
me.
text, like, there's no way. Like, way to go, Sega, for keeping that under wraps and not letting that get leaked. And I was just like, tell me more. And he was telling me. And then you started texting me. Jimmy from Lots of Games started texting me. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And so even knowing what was the reveal was, I don't know if I was ready for the commercial. Immediately when he walks by the Shinobi arcade cabinet, I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. And to see the footage, I will say it seems like they're going more that Strider route when they redid Strider, which I love Strider, but it's kind of further back. Right?
Yeah, zoomed out a little bit.
Yep, zoomed out a little bit, which I'm not a huge fan of. But it's a new Shinobi game. And like super excited for that. Like everything Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, all these are like the freaking
Bangers,
classic,
dude.
right?
Yeah.
And but the Shinobi, but what they are doing is the art style of the Shinobi game. It's like hand drawn. It's really beautiful. So I'm like, okay, they're gonna do this right. They're not just. It's not just like zoomed out type. Like Strider was good. It was fun. It was fun, but it didn't. For me, it was just. I don't know. It felt like Strider revisited. Let's up-res the graphic stuff like that, you know. But when you see him riding on the dog, and you see like, you're like, okay, they're gonna bring something new, I think, to this. And then I have to talk about Golden Axe because that's another one of my favorite games.
Yes.
And like, it's funny because Streets of Rage, I'm not a huge Streets of Rage fan. I actually like the first one better than the second one. Not even dog. I mean.
Really?
But the Golden Axe, we haven't had a Golden Axe since PS3. And I love the Golden Axe actually on PS3. A lot of people hate it. But I kind of liked it. Why? Because it's Golden Axe. That's it, you know, like, whatever.
Right.
It's if it says Shinobi, if it says Golden Axe, it could be crap and I'm still going to like it probably. You know? But like, it was just so... Just to watch that commercial. And then when he does a little Sega thing at the end. Sega! Like, just like... It was just so nostalgic. And I'm just so excited to see what... Or to play these games. I want to know more. When do they come out? You know, what's going to happen? You know? Because the coolest thing on that trailer, too, is it says, and more.
And more, exactly.
And more. What's the more, right?
That's the fun part.
What are we going to get? Are we going to get an Altered Beast, kids?
Oh,
you know
my
what I mean?
God.
I think
that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
So.
Are we going to get a Dreamcast Mini? Are we going to get... I mean, I don't know. Am I crazy to say, would Sega dare ever make a console again? Or are they just going to continue with this route?
I don't know, man. They literally, with this small announcement, which became an epic announcement, they could literally do anything. Because this isn't even the what do they call it? The Omega game that they're working on.
Right.
You know, they keep calling it, you know, the Omega game. That trailer took me back to 2000. Took me 1999, 2000 when the Dreamcast released. That put me in that mode because when the Dreamcast released and coming up to the release of the Dreamcast, all the games they showed, Jet Set Radio, and they were talking about Crazy Taxi, and they were talking about all these games. That got me back into gaming. Like, everybody knows Dreamcast is my baby. I love that console. And that trailer just put me back in the frame of mind of like Sega is really trying to do something now. They're no longer sitting back on Sonic and just rehashing Sonic games or whatnot. So now I feel like they should put Sonic on the bench for a little bit and pump these games out, do these games, go into your catalog, and then we can revisit Sonic when you have something that's really, really stellar. You know what I'm saying? So, Joe, what do you think, man? I mean, I know you got to love that trailer, man.
I was freaking out, man. I was totally... So I'm a Sega boy at heart, dude. My first actual console was a Master System. That's where I started out. So
Me too.
in my mind, dude, I'm just like, oh man, give me Phantasy Star. Bring that back, please. Bring that back. Bring back. I'll take a Galvalius game. I'll take a freaking. There's a lot of good games. I'd take. New Rastan would be rad. I mean, there's a lot.
I wanted
cool
to see the
franchises
Jacko
that would
series. The Mystic Defender.
Oh, that'd be sick, dude. I freaking.
That'd be great.
What's the first one called?
Spellcaster.
I love that game, dude.
Yeah.
That was when I like got back into like when I put like I got a Steam Deck and threw all my stuff on there. That was like one of the first things I played. I played Spellcaster. I love that game.
That's a cryptic game, man. I did a huge review on it because I grew up in Spellcaster. Like if Spellcaster was released today, there's no way kids would play it. But when you buy a game for $50 back then, and you got to figure it out, and you just keep going, you keep going. The freaking game is genius, and it's amazing. But it's like you got to put in the work. I'm talking.
Yes.
And then when I did that review, even when I did that review, and this is probably like 8 years ago, I was like, I'm gonna do this without a guide. And I was still like racking my brain. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've done this before. I know how this goes. How does this go? And it's such a great game. Sorry, I interrupted. Go.
No, you're good. You're good.
That's cool, and that's that was the fun of that game back because, like you said, back in the day, you don't want a game to be fast or easy. You want it to last 1,000 hours. That's all I was getting until next Christmas and my birthday.
Exactly.
Pretty much it. Or if I got straight A's, so Christmas and my birthday.
Yeah.
Stick says a Snail Maze remake.
And
A lot of people
Snail
might not
Maze.
know what that is, so
I
let
know
me
what
fill
you're
you
talking
in. There was a hidden game on the Sega Master System. If you don't put the game in, and I forgot what you had to do. I think you had to hold the power or the reset button when you turn on the power.
Yeah.
If you have a Sega Master System, try it out. It was a Snail Maze game that came up. Every Sega Master System had it, but not everyone knew about it. And that's why Sega's freaking amazing, because they do crazy crap like that, right?
That is cool.
And I wanted to highlight something that Sticks also said. And thanks for coming in the chat, Sticks, man. I appreciate you. I was watching their stream. They were playing Infernax, and they beat Infernax live today, which is pretty awesome. They said the more is rumored to be Outrun, Virtual Fighter, which I heard about Virtual Fighter. I don't know how Virtual Fighter would do in this day and age of fighting games. They would have to really revamp it and totally do something totally different. And then he said Space Channel 5 and more. I think those are all great. Outrun would be fantastic. Virtual Fighter, if they do it right, and they have to switch it up. And I think they even had mentioned something about how slow Virtual Fighter is as a fighting game, because it is a really slow fighting game. Changing that up, I think I heard somebody talking about that.
You'd have to come, totally different.
And then Space Channel 5, I think, would do good in this day and age. I think it would be a great game. It would do amazing on Switch for whatever reason. I know it would. So we'll look forward to that. Excuse me.
But man, if they did bring back Phantasy Star, and not
that's what I want more than
online 2.0 stuff.
No.
What if that's
online? No. I want either a full-on remake of the original game, which I'm fine with if they remade it from the ground up, or Phantasy Star 5. Like just a straight-up actual sequel would be incredible, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Did you save the game?
Which here's my horrible. I remember I first time I ever hung out with Happy Council Gamer, and I forgot where we were at McDonald's or something, and we were talking about Phantasy Star and our love for Phantasy Star, and this is hard to admit. And then I said I'd never beat Phantasy Star 4. I'd never finished it. I thought he was gonna kill me, like I'd committed the unforgivable sin, and I have it now, and I had it when I was young, but I just never finished it. Something happened. I don't know. I have no idea why.
Sure if I did. I'm not sure if I did back in the day. I mean, I haven't, since.
But if we saw those again, holy smokes, that would be amazing.
Dude, I'd freaking be happy with just to put a collection of them on the modern consoles on a disc, whatever. Put them on the Switch.
Give me a remake or a sequel to Sword of Vermilion as well. I'll be happy with that.
That'd be rad.
I looked in the chat, and Stick said, we need Panzer Dragoon back too. They could redo it. To be honest with you, I feel like there's a game on PS3 that to me was like a
Layer.
A Panzer. Yeah, that was Panzer Dragoon, the spiritual successor to Panzer Dragoon. It didn't do too well when it came out, but I really think if they do another Panzer, that's where they're gonna have to go. Those type of graphics, that type of experience or whatever. But Layer, I enjoyed it. A lot of people enjoyed it. You know how that is.
Well, that was one of those. Wasn't that like a launch title and it had like issues and they fixed it or something like that? So it's one of those games where if you waited a little while, it was good. But I remember it was pretty. It had like the 6-axis controls too. You could kind of fly around the dragon and shit. It was cool.
Super Miguel has a question. He says, "You guys think the games will be sold separately or as a pack?"
I hope they don't do a pack, because if they do a pack, I feel like the games won't be like full-fledged games.
Exactly.
So don't do a pack. Do not do a pack. All of those games that they showed, Jet Set Radio, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, and Shinobi, they all deserve to be a full AAA game for Sega. I mean, I think that's the way that they have to go for that. Because if you make it a pack, you'll water it down, and then those games they won't do well. I don't think as like a 6-pack, as Gordo said.
Well, like
No,
I'd be okay with like after they've all been released, they've all had their
yes,
time in the spotlight, release a 6-pack like they did back in the day. I'd be okay with that.
yeah, yeah. Later on down the line, yeah, I could see doing something like that, kind of like what they did on Xbox. What it was, the rare replay. They had all like the great hits on there. Yeah, do that. Like, but that'd be years down the line, right? Probably
Right.
like 10 years down the line. So yeah, but initially, I want a Jet Set Radio game disc by itself, Golden Axe by itself, and from them doing Streets of Rage 4, and that was by itself. I wouldn't think they would do Streets of Rage 5 like that. And the Streets of Rage 5 looked great.
I wonder
Awesome.
if the Streets of Rage is what sparked this whole thing. That remake.
I think so.
Because
I think so.
So well, people are like, oh man, maybe they want this.
I think the Genesis Mini too. I think 'cause the Genesis Mini did so well, they made 2 of them.
Yep.
So they were
Yep.
like, people definitely want this. So I definitely think that it's like you said, they kind of like put their toes in the water to see if the interest is there, and
Yeah.
and all of us were like, yes, for the love of
Yeah.
God, yes, please release redo some a Saturn Mini would be nice too, man, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
I just can't get into collecting that. Like,
Mhm.
no way.
Also, in the Saturn Mini would introduce a lot of people that didn't get to experience that console.
Exactly.
Because
The
the
TurboGrafx Mini
Space
was like that
Harrier,
for
good
me.
call.
The
Mhm.
TurboGrafx Mini was like the first time I ever played like most of those games, because I only know one kid in my entire life who ever owned one, and all he had was like Bonk. So
Yeah.
And I was a TurboGrafx kid.
Lucky.
I actually traded my Super Nintendo for a TurboGrafx 16 because I saw the ads to Legendary Axe, and I was just like, I have to get this, not knowing that boss that they showed is like the only big boss in that game. And this kid was fishing. This little kid was fishing. He was younger than me, but I was telling him about Castlevania 4 because I just finished it, or Super Castlevania. He was like, "Man, I want a SNES so bad, but my parents bought me this stupid system called TurboGrafx," and I said, "I'll trade you," and we just traded straight up. His games, I gave him all my games. I didn't care. I just wanted to, and there was a little regret there, but then I played a game. I was introduced to a game called Ease, which would, if anyone watches the channel, that's my life. It's like, and it just went down this whole road.
Great, damn good version of Ease too. Did you get it on the CD version, right? That was the
and I did. He had the CD. He had the attachment. His parents bought him the good thing. It's like, I was like,
no, he was living large. He had full CD sound. Real guitars, baby. What were you thinking?
But I mean, in retrospect, like back then,
yeah,
he got the better end of the deal.
Yeah,
because he got the Super Nintendo. I had the heavy hitters, at that time, and so he made it. He thought he made out like a bandit, but like, there's something cool about going, hey, I was a TurboGrafx kid. I didn't have a ton of games, but like, and then Splatterhouse. Like, stuff like that. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, Splatterhouse is my game, man, and the TurboGrafx 16 did it right. I mean, it was a great game. All right, so we'll move on to the game that I'm really, really excited for. I mean, I'm a Marvel fan, and by me even telling you I'm a Marvel fan, you already know what I'm talking about. What did you guys think about them announcing the new Blade game for that's about to be coming out here? Is done by Arcade Studios. What do you guys think about Blade? Are you a Blade fan? Do you think it's going to be good? What do you think about the trailer?
I felt like the trailer didn't give us much, but go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say I didn't see this trailer, so I've watched most of the show, but I was like, eating and stuff. So
it's very short. It's easy to miss.
Yeah, but I love Blade, so I'm down with that, dude. I freaking love Blade. I was just talking about this the other day.
Blade
Blade 1 and
Trinity,
Blade
baby.
2.
Just kidding.
Not Blade 3. No, but not Trinity. Blade 1 and Blade 2 are freaking amazing,
Dude,
dude.
Blade
Especially
2
2.
is such a solid movie.
2. 2 is the shit, dude. It's so good, dude.
If you're gonna watch any
Absolutely.
Blade movie, just watch 2, and you'll be. The CG doesn't hold up on some of those fight scenes, but my goodness, like, and that's Guillermo del Toro, who went on to go do amazing, great things. So, like,
Mhm.
do yourself a favor.
It's crazy because Blade was the start of superhero madness. You know, people don't really understand that when it comes to movie, and Joe knows this because Daryl's the director, obviously. But Blade was literally the start of great superhero movies brought to the golden screen.
Not Howard the Duck.
And
No,
no,
he's Marvel, baby.
He is Marvel.
He is Marvel.
Well, they had
but
other
he
things. I mean, they
wasn't
had
the start
Fantastic Four. I
of it.
think
Nope,
even
garbage.
like Punisher.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well, it depends on the Punisher.
But here's the
But I
thing.
think-
Yes. What I'm saying is, what really kicked it up. Well, Blade was. A lot of people didn't even know Blade was a Marvel movie. They just thought
Mhm.
they were going to go see a vampire movie.
Yeah,
I honestly think what started everything. Well, because there was X-Men too, right? Like the X-Men movies came out.
Mhm.
But I think the blockbuster was Spider-Man. That's
Yeah.
the one. That,
Well, Blade was before Spider-Man.
and I agree. I understand. But I think that most people didn't know that.
Well, as fans, if you're speaking from a fan's perspective, excuse me, yes. But I think Blade was the one that allowed the studios to know that we could start doing these type of movies.
Right.
Is what I mean. Not as far as the fans, but Blade made tons of money.
Is Blade before X-Men?
Yes, Blade is before X-Men.
Okay.
And it let the studios know, hey, it's time to go dig deep into this universe and start pumping these movies out. And Blade did well at the movie theater, the first one for sure. But I mean, I'm ecstatic that they're doing a game finally, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Lore. Heck yeah. Is it like, did they make him, is it like modeled after Wesley, or is it like the new guy? Because they're coming out with the show too, with that new actor.
Yes, it's not modeled after Wesley.
Okay.
I don't think we have any person. I do know there's a new character, a new actor playing him, but I don't think it's modeled after either of those guys.
That's probably the best way to go, to be honest with you. Like,
I agree.
because then if you want to make sequels and stuff, you don't have to worry about them crying for money, and because that's what they do. They just every time you ask them to do it again, they go, "I want another 10 million. I want another 10 million." Until it's like they're like, "No, dude." And so, yeah, I'm excited, and I'm just a sucker for horror themed games in general and vampires. I just love that crap. So,
and I think it's good for Xbox too. This they didn't mention it. They didn't say anything about it being an Xbox exclusive, but seeing it's made by Arcane and Bethesda Studios, I couldn't see it not being an exclusive for Xbox. And then also the Xbox still has the FTC breathing down their neck. I don't think they even want to mention any exclusive right now. So this would be their supposedly first exclusive to combat against like Spider-Man and Wolverine that Sony has over there. And then hopefully they'll dive, a little bit deeper into those type of games, man, because I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I think.
All right, so moving right along. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
No, I just Sticks sums it up. He's like, Blade helped X-Men, X-Men helped Spider-Man, Spider-Man helped the MCU.
Yeah, for sure.
So
and that's and he's right. And Blade was the reason why we got everything he mentioned after that, because they saw people are willing to go to the movie theater to see this type of content, because you remember right before Blade, or right before those movies, Marvel was selling off everybody. Comics just were not a thing. People weren't touching comics. They weren't going to comic book stores. They sold off Incredible Hulk rights got sold off, I think, to like Universal or somebody. Spider-Man got sold off to Sony. X-Men got sold off to Time Warner. Like Marvel was gutting the rights and all this stuff to everybody. It was whoever had an open checkbook, they would sell it. And then the studios,
they had to pay for Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. and they should. I mean, I honestly I think that the Spider-Man movies did well, but I think that Spider-Man belongs in the MCU because Spider-Man was in so many different other comics. He was a X-Men at one time. He was a part of Fantastic Four at one time. He was like all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Marvel and Disney should get the full rights back to Spider-Man,
That's
so
like
they kind of
DC
do
not
whatever they want
having
with it.
Superman, dude. It's like
Oh yeah,
Spider-Man is like one of the most well-known, if not the most. Like, I think Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man have to be
yeah.
the three most well-known in the world. Like, even if you don't know comics, you know who those three people are, and you recognize their logos and stuff.
Are
So.
we?
hmm
Yeah, because you got to give props to Batman because Batman came out before all those. And
Detective Comics, 1939, baby. Come on now.
well, I'm talking about the
Yes.
the, the movie.
The movie.
Oh yeah,
And
for
that
sure.
was a
For
summer
sure.
blockbuster hit.
That came out
So
on my birthday, dude. I took a whole group of friends to see it on my station wagon with my dad. It was
Oh
a
yeah,
day.
DC,
It was a
and
good day.
that was a fantastic movie. I love that. But then they slowly killed Batman in the
they
movie
did.
theater for like 3 movies, and then they kind of just stopped doing them, and then they brought them back with the Dark Knight series and stuff like that. But when they started just throwing stars at it, what was that? Batman Forever, I think it was.
Yes, it was Howard the Duck.
And they just threw as many stars they could in a movie, and that usually always kills a movie. That never really pans out good when you do that. And I was just like the worst Batman ever. Oh, so
Batman and Robin was the worst, dude.
well, yeah, Batman and Robin was bad. Batman and
freeze.
Robin.
So good.
Well, there's a lot of stars in that too. It's like,
Oh yeah.
but I think,
Oh, yeah.
and I've said this
Uma
before.
Thurman quite a bit.
I did a whole video on it, but I remember it's funny because how the tables have turned because I'm not a huge Marvel fan anymore. I'm not a huge
Mhm.
comic fan, but that's what I grew up with. I was obsessed with it. I got beat up for it. I was a nerd because of it, because of that, playing video games, watching Star Wars, and now I would see these movie lines of people like wearing Star Wars shirts or wearing Marvel shirts. All the cheerleaders and the jocks that used to, tease us nerds, and now that's a thing now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like so
Yep.
crazy how the tables have turned, and now it's like I don't, I'm just so like burnt out on Marvel movies. And then when
Yeah.
the original stories, like you can love Endgame all you want, and you can love freaking Infinity War, but I'll tell you what, read the freaking comic; it's 1,000 times better, and it's a way better story. And Thanos has way more like why he's doing what he's doing for Lady
Yeah.
Death. I don't want to get into that, but like, you know what I
Well,
mean? Like, I don't know.
I think the thing is we have Marvel fatigue because it took 20 years to get the start of Infinity the stones, Infinity Stones. It took 20 years to get to where we got, right? So do we have another 20 years for another saga, another build up? Because and I think they did it right. Not to get too deep into it, but I think they did it right where they're doing a mini series on Disney Plus instead of movies to fill in bigger movies, right? To fill in the gap, and so they can tell all these stories or whatever. But dude, 20 years. It started with did it start with Iron Man or start with Hawk? I think the first stones showed up in Iron Man, the Tesseract, right? I think it was the first one that showed up in Iron Man, and then they went from there and they built this universe, right? All these different movies. So it's just like I don't have another 20 years to give. 10 years. What is Stick says 10 years. 10 years. I don't have another 10 years to give Marvel as far as movies, man. No, I'm not gonna do it.
So
I honestly think
derailed a little bit, but
no,
Well,
you're good, man.
I want to stay on this rail for one more second. The only thing that is going to bring me back is if they do X-Men right. And I mean, like, I want an X-Men cinematic universe, straight up. Like, I think they should do the way they approach the Marvel movies with the X-Men. I think Wolverine should have a movie, and I think Gambit should get a movie, and I think Professor X should get a movie. They should have like their own individuals, and then they should have the big, like, blockbuster, big, actual, X-Men all together titles and stuff.
I'm
And,
trying
like,
to
I
think
want
of
'em
what
to
a
go
good
deep.
storyline.
I want to see Bishop. I want to see Cable Baby. I want to see the
Bishop. Oh,
good stuff. Come on,
Bro.
man.
You know what?
You
I think
you
that's a
are
good
you are
storyline to
my
go.
favorite person tonight by even mentioning Bishop.
He's the man, dude.
Man, he is my dude. Like you just got my blood boiling. Bishop is that's my dude. That's my favorite
Mhm.
Marvel character from X-Men. Like, yo.
Yeah, I'm a
so
huge
amazing, dude.
And I was
Yeah,
trying
dude,
to think of what X-Men storyline would be good, and the whole Bishop Cable storyline, all that time was
The Phoenix Saga.
was really good writing. You know what I mean?
They could do the Phoenix Saga.
Which they tried already.
Ugh.
Well, they was horrible.
Right.
What they did, but they could
Cartoon
literally
did it better.
yeah. In the 90s when we were watching that Phoenix Saga was, dude, late to school watching that early in the morning. That was an epic series of that.
Best Saturday morning cartoon.
Yes,
Yeah,
and they could do
I
that.
look forward to that more than anything else, dude. And that music, fucking
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
kicks.
Yes.
Dude, I was there.
pumped for that, dude. Didn't they?
Yes.
And I was older, right? I was older, but I was still like, oh my gosh, they did something right.
I don't care.
Yes.
That was amazing, and so is the Batman animated series. We were lucky. The Batman animated series was so good, dude. I had no idea.
That's
but,
good
like,
writing,
looking back
too.
on it,
The animated
is
series is good writing.
fantastic, dude. Yeah, dude, and like, oh man, I love Clayman. Every time he showed up, I was so excited. I don't know why. I just loved Clayman, dude. I thought his character was so cool, dude.
And I think the way they butchered Apocalypse and the Four Horsemen, see, like that Apocalypse was the X-Men's Thanos.
Yeah.
So they screwed that over so bad, but that was a cash grab. I think that was Fox who did that, or Time Warner. It was one of the studios or whatever. But if they would have did what Marvel and the Avengers did with Thanos, Apocalypse was that dude. You know what I'm saying? He was that Omega villain. He was that dude that they could have built that story. Mm-hmm.
Just they don't know what to do.
Nope. They ruined it. I don't know. It's just trash can now, man. I'm so upset about that. But they could do something with Doctor Doom. They're trying to redo Fantastic Four. I don't know. We'll see what they come up with. But I agree with your sentiment. Do X-Men, build the characters. Everybody's asking for Gambit. They haven't been able to find an actor that they like to play Gambit. I think that's the issue that they had. It was a lot of people that show interest in Gambit. But you got to find the right person to play Remy. So if you ain't gonna find the right person, you could really ruin that movie.
Shia LaBeouf?
The wrong person. So moving.
I like how we went on a 20-minute rant on a 15-second Blade trailer. Okay.
No, you're good. So
I know. Sorry.
We'll move on from there, and we'll go into something that a game that was on the Media Glitch channel was in contention. Everybody hated what I had to say. We'll talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Are you guys ready for it? What do you guys think about it? Is this a day one pickup for you? What are we thinking? We'll go with you, Joe.
Oh, I'm definitely getting it day one. And I don't honestly do that very often, but like I really enjoyed the first one. I played it on PS4 and then I replayed it again on my PS5 because I liked it so much. And that is unheard of for me in an RPG to like beat one and then play it again right away. I can't even tell you. I mean, I haven't since I was a kid. Maybe I was doing that, but I'm looking forward to it a lot, dude. Yeah, I love Final Fantasy VII. It's like a special game to me. Like I know it's kind of generic, but I love PlayStation 1. Like it's like my favorite system of all time. So,
I mean, it was Final Fantasy was literally a lot of people's first dive into the RPG world, and that's why a lot of people built up the love. And it was one of the first really good RPGs, so everybody kind of loves that game. So I can understand why you're like, yep, gotta play it, man. But we know it ain't Joel's first RPG. Joel's Yee's.
It ain't my first.
Well, first beloved.
You know what's crazy
My
is
first
I
was
played
Elfen
Final
with
Fantasy
2.
before I played Ys, and Dragon
Yeah.
Warrior, and
Yeah.
Fantasy
Warrior.
Star. All those I'd hit before Ys and Sword of Vermilion. But what my thoughts on this is, it's not day one for me. The Mana game probably is that
Yeah,
they
it
announced.
looks
We can talk about that
fantastic.
later. And only because I don't want to torture myself. I haven't even played the last one. I'm kind of just waiting for them all to come out, and then I'm just gonna freaking buy it. You know they're gonna make this massive collector's edition with all of them in there. I'll buy that physically, and I'll just sit down and enjoy the freaking ride. You know,
All the
it's
DLC
just
and
so
everything.
hard for me to like know where the story goes already, right? So we already know, and I played a little bit. My son played it, so I'd sit down and watch it, and I'm just like, all these memories are flooding back, you know, like doom, 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 and I'm like, I don't want to I don't want to do this right now, like it's gonna be even sweeter when it's all done for me, and just sit down, you know, and like, you know, we're getting old, arthritis is coming in. I got to play my fighting games now while I still can. The RPGs when you're, you know, that's later in life, you know.
That is so funny
Yeah.
you say that. That is actually my plan with my RPG collection. I'm just
yeah.
right now, I got too many other things to play. I got shmups. I got to play the games on my brain. I need my brain to work real good.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when I'm older, I can just chill and just, you know.
Oh,
take
Jake Lee's is
medicine.
in. Jake Lee's
What
is
up,
in the
Jake
house,
Lees?
guys.
I'm reading the chat here. Jake Lee said, I love the Final Fantasy remake. Banky said, remake is just a long demo in Midgar. And then we got Sticks saying Final Fantasy 2 and 4 was my favorite. A lot of people say 2 and 4. They mention those all the time. You go back and forth from there. But I'm looking forward to it. I definitely want to play it. I got a lot of catching up to do when it comes to Final Fantasy.
Did you get the
I did-
Pixel Remastered collection for $787,000?
I did not. I wanted the collector's edition, but it sold out so fast. And then what it's selling for right now?
Of what game?
There's no way. Pixel Remaster collection.
It's
said
cheap.
I'm not
You can get
getting
you can get a Switch copy for a reasonable amount, but the PS4.
Are you talking about
is
the PS5 one?
absolutely-
PS4 one,
PS4.
yeah.
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 They're gonna
Absurd.
reprint them one day. Just wait.
They will.
Hope so. God, I
They
hope so.
they definitely will reprint it, and then I'll probably
What's
jump on it at that point in time.
You know what's crazy is Square Enix reached out to me. Hey, do you want to review, you know, the Pixel Remastered ones? I said, oh no, don't worry about it. I'm gonna buy the physical copy. Don't even send me the digital copy because I want to buy the physical. I went on and they were just sold out like that. I was like, flip. Now I have nothing. I should have taken the codes.
I know
Yeah.
you're regretting that one, man.
Oh, it sucks.
I like woke up that morning just raged. I'm like, why would you do this? It's like in the middle of the night. It's like 11:30 at night, East Coast, where I am, when they put it
Yeah.
up for sale. I'm like, I'm an old man. I'm in bed. I'm not sitting
Yeah,
there like,
exactly.
come on, man. 11:30 at night, like, come
Yeah.
on, dude.
In this day and age, the scalpers, man, the bots, you know, it's just so hard to get anything that's
Oh my
gonna
God.
be sought after. And it just drives me bananas, man.
Jay
Just
Glaze
drives
is
me
comment.
bananas.
I'm still
What do you
salty
say?
about
The first time I played through Final Fantasy VIII, I didn't even know Squall could fire his gun for extra damage. Okay, all
I
right.
played the whole
Well,
game.
we
that
got to
way.
learn at some time.
We got Stu's game reviews in here as well.
What's up, Stu?
A lot of people in here tonight. Thank you guys.
Thank you for coming in. All right, so moving on to the next game. I don't know anything about this game. It's called The Last Sentinel. The trailer looks
Oh snap!
amazing.
What is that? I can't see it. Let me see.
Oh, Jay Gleese, thank you for subscribing to the channel.
Was it Jay
Gleese
Gleese?
subscribed,
Thanks, Jay.
Yep.
I couldn't see it because everything was covering it. Because I moved
That's
this.
showing the love out there.
So what's the game called again?
It's called The Last Sentinel. So it's not a sequel or prequel to anything we've ever played, I don't think. And I'm looking forward to it. It looks really good. What are your take on it, Joel? Did you get to watch that? Any part of that?
The Last Sentinel.
Yeah, it's at the
I see it.
26-minute mark. There you go.
I clearly missed 20 minutes of this.
Yeah.
I know when I'll catch up to the new one.
It's funny because I don't quite remember seeing this trailer.
Yeah, it looks amazing, but I don't really know what it's about, you know.
So maybe this is a good place for me to just talk about something I was feeling as I was watching the awards. I felt like I was just so burnt out on seeing games with people in suits, like Halo style suits, space, all this stuff. There was just like game after game after game that looked like this, and I'm just so burnt out of this kind of stuff. That's how I felt with a lot of these games. And this one has a little bit of different style. This isn't exactly. I don't even remember seeing this one, but I don't know if anyone felt the same way. But I felt so burnt out. If I have to see another like guy in a Gears of War, Halo type costume running around in space, you know, I don't know.
His mask looks very familiar to something I've seen in the past. I just can't recall what either movie or game. I can't remember what it is, but it looks good. I mean, anything new, right? That isn't a remaster of something we've played 20 times, you know, I'm okay with that because I'll try it. Now, we don't know how good it's going to be. Well, I guess we'll have to, you know, we'll learn what that is when we get there. All right, so we'll move on pretty fast from that one. Joe, what do you think about Light No Fire?
Let me go look at it.
To me, it looks like a Monster Hunter game.
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah. I didn't really feel anything. Again, I feel like this is like a glorified Fortnite Monster Hunter type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not. There's something going on in my brain, and I'm not exactly sure. Where there were a lot of games that I was watching. Like I said, I just didn't care. Like, what do I need this for?
What about you, Joe? You feeling the same way?
Well, I'm watching it now. It definitely looks just like a Monster Hunter kind of clone game.
Which,
why are you gonna announce that when you're announcing the new Monster Hunter? You're killing your own hype, dude. It's like, oh gosh, it's like announcing a kart racer when a new Mario Kart's getting announced. What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. But a lot of this just feels the same. Like it's the same game. Now Monster Hunter I love because it's Monster Hunter. I'm gonna play Monster Hunter, and Final Fantasy is good because it's Final Fantasy, right? You have your IPs, right, that you love, but like when we're talking about like for example, just skipping to another game, Exodus, right? This is the game that I believe Matthew McConaughey is part of, right? Here we are in space, people with costumes. I'm freaking done. Like, how many of these are we gonna make? Like, let Mass Effect be Mass Effect. Let Halo be Halo. Let's move on to something else. That's how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm just like seeing the same recycled stuff. Am I crazy?
No, I mean, I agree with you in that sentiment that people aren't originating as much as they used to, and they're starting to try, but I mean, I you know, the gaming companies or the publishers, they want stuff that's safe. So, and then Jay Gleason just kind of said, innovation isn't as plentiful as I would like in gaming at this point. There's a lot of copy and paste going on. It seems it is, and I agree with that because they want something that's safe. They don't want something that's going to flop. You know, we've had a lot of games that have come out in the last year or two that had big budgets and they just flopped, and the developers and the publishers are afraid of that because like we give you $200 million and then the game sells 100,000 copies, you know, and they're like, we just lost all that money, and then you see the studio shut down, and you know, me personally, this is a statement that's going to have contention for sure. Is I think we get too many games.
Yeah, I agree.
I think in 1 month, it's at times there's like 10 games releasing across the 3 or 4 platforms. I think that take your time. And I think we should have, honestly, I would be okay with 1 game per console or 1 exclusive per console or just 1 to 2 games every 2 or 3 months. I don't need all this, man. There's games that have come out that I don't even know about, and I'm just finding out about because so many games drop. You know, they need to slow down. You don't have to pump out all of this stuff because your game is going to get lost in the sauce, and you're going to put your company at, you know, jeopardy because people may not get to play it. So that's just my opinion. What do you guys think?
I 100% think the market's oversaturated, and I think that it's too competitive. And even games that are decent that would normally probably sell well are just going up against so many other titles. And to be honest with you, too, it's just people are pretty milked for money right now. Like, it's just like there's not a lot of people. Like, I have some disposable income and I buy games, but you know, it's not like back in the day where I just buy whatever the hell I want, like no problem. Now I have to I have to think. I have to be like, well, what's coming out? And there might be like 5 things I want, and I'm not getting all 5 because it's really expensive and I don't have the time. That's the other thing. I don't have the time. It's just like I don't know how you can do this. Like I feel bad sometimes. Like the reviewers, like that must be stressful having to like, here's a 70-hour game, get it done by Tuesday. Like, are you even having fun anymore? Like, I don't know, man. That doesn't sound fun to me to just be like, I have to finish.
Like ET. Here's what was it, 90 days or something like that? It's something crazy. Get this out before the movie comes out. You know, this is why ET flopped.
I like that game.
I do too. I tell people it's nostalgia for me. I had hours of fun just roaming around, falling into pits.
I had no idea that was a notoriously bad game until I got older. Like I had it as a kid on my Atari, and I was like, "This game's fun." I mean, Atari. What did you want from an Atari game? It's like, it was for the most part pretty complicated for an Atari game. There's a lot going on in that game. I thought I enjoyed it anyway.
So Styx says some people only think Call of Duty comes out, and if I'm not even kidding you, Styx, sometimes I envy those people. I wish at a time, I wish I was like, all I cared about was Final Fantasy and that's it. Or something, you know what I mean? Or Ys games. And I only played then. And then I went on with my life. But I can't because I'm a true gamer and I just freaking want to play everything. You know?
Well, the people, okay, so as you guys already know, I used to work at GameStop and I was a store manager with them for about 12 years. So what I've seen, and Styx is 100% right. There are people that only play Call of Duty and Madden. Okay, that's why those games are huge. It's the majority of the urban community is where that resides. I bought a PlayStation, and the only thing I play every single year is Call of Duty. That's the only game I have on my console. That's relevant. Madden, same thing happened with NBA Live when NBA Live was a thing before it disappeared. That's FIFA. All you play. Your FIFA. Oh, overseas. That's all FIFA, they got a PlayStation for. That's all they got an Xbox for. Is just for FIFA, and they don't care about anything else. You know. So he's 100% right when he talks about that, and I seen it. I had customers when they walked in the door. I was like, all right, I know you're here for Madden. Let me go ahead and ring you up. They didn't want anything else. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. If you're the type of gamer that all you play is those games, that's okay.
In Mexico,
nothing wrong with that.
In Mexico, like every house I go to, like I'm like, oh sweet, PS2. Like, and I'm looking like to see you got God of War 2, you know? No, man, I just got FIFA. That's like
Yes.
that's it.
Mhm.
That's the only
That's
thing
it.
that most people had, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm. Certain
And
systems
nothing
are
wrong with
like
that, man.
No, and I'm saying
FIFA's huge.
I wish I was someone like that. You know?
Hmm.
Like, or I was just like, okay, you know, I play the new Ease game every time one comes out. You put out 40 hours, 50 hours, 60, let's just say. You beat it and you're like, all right. And that's it. And you don't buy another game or play another game. Like, I
Hmm.
don't know. There's something about that that's like, I don't know that, right? Because games are so ingrained in me. It's part of my life. It's so like, it's so weird. It would be like, you know,
Mm. That's how I am with TV, and that's probably how you guys are. I just dip in for like a little like a show and I'm out, and then I'm back to
Yep.
games. So
Yep.
it's probably similar to that, where like there's some people who watch everything and they're up to date
Hmm.
on everything, and I'm like,
sad thing is, I'm that guy too. And I'm the
oh
movie
yeah, well
guy.
yeah, you make movies, so yeah, no, yeah, you do
I'm
that
the
too.
movie guy and I'm the TV guy. So I watch everything and I do that and that. And it's just like, holy smokes. And
And
you just don't have time to do it all, right? So,
Mm-mm.
that's what makes Call of Duty not as fun anymore, because you have these people that are so ingrained in Call of Duty, like that's all they play, right? And then when you have like a weekend warrior dad or somebody coming in to play Call of Duty, they get handled, and they're just like, "This is not fun, man." Like every
That's how it
time
was
I
for
get on the
Madden.
map, yeah.
I Anytime I play Madden, I'd sit down with somebody and I'd lose 96-3, and I'd be like, "That was a great time, thank you. That was
Right.
really, it was fun. I learned a lot. Thank you."
It's funny. I'm a huge Madden player. I don't know if you knew that, but we have a house rule. It's 21. If I go up on 21, games over, we're gonna play something else. We're not running the score up, because you're right. You're 100% right. That changes the aspect of you playing the game, how you feel about it. Like I never want to play this again. You know what I'm saying? This is not fun. Playing video games, you want both people to have fun. Now, if we're playing online, usually if you go 21 up on somebody in the first quarter, they'll ask for a friendly quit. On Madden, you have an option for friendly quit, and then if
Mhm.
you do the friendly quit, they don't get a loss, or whatnot. It doesn't hurt their scores or whatnot, or used to, it didn't anyway. So it is what it is. But that's how it is when it comes to Call of Duty. There's so many people where this is their only game and that's all they play, and they're so good that the new people coming in, they just want to play and have fun, can't have fun. So as they get on the map, they die. And then it's just like, and you got to go to the gulag. You got to try to make your way out the gulag. You get killed soon. Like, it's not fun.
Mm-mm.
It's just not
Getting
fun.
camped and shit when you don't know what you're doing. It's like
Yeah.
you
Oh
can't
yeah.
even you can't even learn. That's the thing. It's like it's not even
Yep.
right.
it's not that you mind getting your ass kicked. It's just like I can't get better. You won't let me play.
And that's,
Exactly.
Can I learn where with the map where the ammo is and stuff? Can you just let me walk around for a minute at least? It's like, oh my god.
and this
Yeah.
is exactly what I was doing on my stream this morning. Remember? Like, I'm
Mhm.
playing Mortal Kombat and there's these people just coming in. I can tell. So I don't just beat on them. I
Mhm.
let them get me close down or let them try their moves and stuff like that, because that's so discouraging. Like, you're
Yep.
like, oh, this is a really
Yes.
cool game, I want to learn to play it, but everyone online just pounds you, like a
Yep.
pinata. It's not fun at all, right?
And then so for me, on the opposite end of it, I was really good at Tekken 3 back in the day.
Love
And it would
Tekken.
be Tekken 3 was my jam, dude. I love that game. But like you said, Joel, if I played with somebody and they never played with me before, if I just went ham on them, they would just play one round and that would
Right,
be the end of it.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd
Mm-hmm.
just be like, let them kill a couple people. We do team battle, let them take out a few dudes. Be like, oh, good one. And then, in the end, just smoke them. Even let them win every once in a while.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Love Tekken 3. Tekken Tag, I think, was a pinnacle for me. I love Tekken Tag Tournament.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah, man.
best games.
No,
So, Cag,
here comes January. I'm retired from fighting games right now until Tekken comes out. Um, so I said I'll be back once Tekken comes out. I'll come out of retirement. Go ahead, Joe. What's up?
there's a lot of trailers that aren't in that video.
Yes, there are a lot of trailers. What you got, Joel?
Well, this one, and this is another era or genre that I feel is becoming a victim of. We're seeing more and more games like this. It does look cool. It's called No Rest for the Wicked. I think it's called,
Yes.
or
Mhm.
what is it?
Yeah, I think that was the right game.
And it's Souls. It looks like a Souls game, right? Which we're seeing a lot more because those are doing good.
Excuse me.
But the art style, everything in it, I think it's worth mentioning here
Hmm.
because
I
I feel
agree.
like this could be one to look out for. Do you guys
Yeah.
have any thoughts on this one? Do you remember seeing it?
I did see that. I didn't have like any big thought. I'm not like a Souls guy. Um, Dark Souls, I think it was Dark Souls 3, did so much damage to me when it comes to those type of games, and then Sekiro did so much damage to me,
Oh, dude, that one I had to
and
give
then
up. Sekiro made me. Oh man, that
the
was hard.
last Souls type game that took me out of the whole genre was Wulong. I said, I'm done with this. Wulong
hard?
just took the cake. Oh my god, Wulong is Wulong's first boss is an in-game boss. He has three different transitions, and you haven't even made it. You haven't even learned how to play the game yet.
Yeah.
You know, you literally have not learned how to play the game yet. And this dude has 3 high-level transitions that you have to make your way through. And I just put the game down. I never beat him, and I spent $70 on the game. I never beat him, and I just stopped. I said, "There's no way."
Mm-hmm.
So this
Actually,
looks good. This looks good, but you know, I don't.
It looks kind of more
this is Souls, I
Diablo-ish,
don't get it.
actually.
Okay, cool.
And then we had Gonzo, and I don't even think he sounded like Gonzo that I grew up with. So I was like, what the heck?
Dude, I don't even know. I can't remember how Gonzo sound. I haven't seen Gonzo in forever.
And then we have this. Did you see this one here? Dead by Daylight. The creators of Dead by Daylight now making a one-player experience.
Yep, I'm very interested in that. So I think this is going to be good. And we were talking about this when we were playing Dead by Daylight, and I was like, they should have a storyline, a one-player storyline. Mm-hmm. And I think the fans were asking for this for a while. I think that's what we're getting. I think it's going to be great.
It does look really good. Great. So that one was kind of fun. It's called the what is it? The Casting of Frank Stone. So that one was kind of cool.
Let's look at this move, man.
Oh, this one, the Team Ninja, and they've announced this is that Ronin game. I don't know.
Yeah, we've seen that. Yeah, that's going to be
need to talk about that, but
yeah, we've seen that one before.
I do want to fly around and jump on people and stab them in the head. That does look really fun.
Yes, that does look really good. That does look really good.
Yeah, and I like that you have guns too for a samurai game. You can like pull out a gun and shoot people in the face and stuff. That looked really fun.
And yeah, so I think go ahead, Joe.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna move on to the next game, but
I was gonna say I think we've made it for the most part through all of the more popular titles that we haven't seen much through, except for this last one, which is
this is my favorite. Game. Besides the Sega announcement, this was my favorite.
Mine too. The Sega and then the Mana game. I'm looking forward to playing it. It's just a new Mana adventure. I own all the Mana games at this point, I believe. There might be one that I'm get confused on them, especially because what's that?
When they first showed this, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't know it was Mana. I really thought we were getting a new Blue Dragon. I was like, oh my god, are we getting a new Blue Dragon? And then I was let down. I was like, no, we're not.
I knew immediately it was Mana. Mana just has a look to it, right? Well, since the remasters,
those little yellow things, those whatever.
This follows in that vein. So I'm super excited for that.
Me too. I loved Secret of Mana as a kid. That was absolutely one of my favorite SNES games, and I mean that was one of the games that I played like over and over and over again. Like just loved it. So. But and this is like a similar thing too. Like they like tested it out. Like they're like, does people like this? And they remastered it, and then they did the Trials of Mana, and it did well. And they were like, all right, let's just go for it. Put out something.
I'm definitely gonna play that. That looks great. It looks great. Banky, Joel's not really a Tekken player, so I don't think you have to really worry about Joel in Tekken. Banky says, but I'll give Joel a run for his money when Tekken 8 drops. Banky, I think it's more of me that you have to worry about when Tekken comes out.
So I'm looking forward to that. Who's your boy in Tekken? I just gotta know.
Well, it depends on what Tekken we're playing. If we're playing Tekken
true.
3 or Tekken 3 or Tekken Tag, it was Eddie Gordo.
Okay.
Oh, that looked really good.
And then Lei Fei was also one of my favorite characters. Then it turned into Lee. I am a beast with Lee.
Lei Wulong's
Yes.
a man, dude.
So yeah, it depends on the Tekkens. In the earlier Tekkens, it was King. I learned the grapple combos, and
Oh, you dirty
people,
bastard.
people just didn't want to play you anymore, dude. It was like once you did a King combo, it was
Oh, you
right.
put the controller down.
Yeah, you
Put it
just
down.
kept
Get
going and going and going. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They have so many characters in this one, and I don't know who I'm going to use in this one. We'll
I already
see.
have it ready to buy. I got my money set aside. There's 2 fighting games I don't know how to play: Smash Bros. And Tekken.
Yeah, I don't know Smash Brothers either.
Smash Bros. You ain't missing much.
And but you know, if Cag's gonna buy it, I'll play it. I'll get good. I'll beat him. He'll defriend me.
Listen. I've never defriended anybody for losing in a fighting game. What I will say, and this when it comes to fighting games, I get emotional, but I come from the era. We all come. Well, Joel not so much anymore. Joel is a holy man now, so he can tame his aggravation. But I come from an era. I came up in the 90s. I was born in the 80s, came up in the 90s. We come from the rage area of fighting games, Street Fighter, dude, where you lost it when you lost in a fighting game. I mean, I still have that in me, but I try to tame it down. You know,
Well, it depends on how many times you low kick me, you son of a bitch.
well, we'll go.
How cheap are you? How cheap are you?
Listen,
You keep spamming that move.
Yeah.
We're throwing fists in real life. You better do something else.
my boy Reggie is not in here. Reggie may watch this video and he's not gonna know what I'm gonna say. They came to my house. We went to the Cleveland Gaming Classic, and I lost my shit because he was playing with Jax, and every time I jumped in, he did the backbreaker with Jax, and I said, "If you don't stop doing the same move," and Reggie looked at me and said, "It's a part of the game." But back in the day, you know, that's what happened. You got
playing
mad
with honor, sir.
right.
Okay.
You got mad when somebody, you know, knew how to beat what you did. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a part of the game. Now we've become adults and, you know, we've kind of moved away from it, but literally it's still part of the game. When you lose to somebody and you feel like you can beat them or you feel like it was cheap, regardless if you verbalize it or not, you're thinking it. Can't nobody tell me you ain't thinking it. Some people just don't say it. You just like,
That's where I've gotten to. I've just matured to the point where I just take my anger and I just contain it and then maybe go punch a wall.
yeah. But we
And,
have
no
fun,
more breaking
though, man.
controllers either. Back in the day, you could break controllers and maybe get a new one. Not anymore. I'm like, that's like $70. You better not touch that thing.
Dude, like they don't build them like they used to. Like the old 8-bit NES controller.
Oh, you could chuck
I
that
could
thing.
throw that thing up against a brick wall, pick it up and play it again, it'd be fine. Like,
Yep.
Now, if you drop a controller, you could break it. Just drop it by accident, you know.
Yeah, no, it was. You throw a PS5 controller, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
it's a wrap. You can't. The PS5 controller cannot. I've never thrown a controller. I've never thrown a controller. Let me think about that.
Back in the day,
I did.
yeah. I punched a few walls.
Dude, Ninja Turtles on the NES.
I
Me and my
broke
brother.
a controller. I broke a Super NES controller. I was playing Super Punch Out and I just twisted it a little too hard from frustration and cracked it.
Hey,
I've never thrown a controller.
Didn't
Never
see you
thrown
come
a
in,
controller.
Yeah, Ed Morrow.
But yeah, man, it's crazy.
Ed Morrow's in the chat, and I'm sure he's seen me throw a plenty NES controllers back in the day. So there's there's another trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the art style is great. It's by the makers that did that. What is it? DNF Duel or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, maybe it's not. Sorry, it said Dungeon. I thought I saw the logo yesterday. Forget what I just said.
DNF Duel. I
Forget
think
what I just said.
I just saw that. Didn't it say DNF?
Yeah, I think it's a DNF,
But
which was a fighting game.
have you guys
Slept
seen
on
this
fighting
trailer?
game.
Mm-mm.
The style and animation looks amazing, and this looks like something I would probably get into. It is. I think this is the
Oh, is
one
this the
that's a
Koei
bit
Tecmo
soulish, but
game?
Oh yeah, that's definitely the style of DNF Duel right there for sure.
look at that, dude. Look at this freaking graphics, man.
I missed this game. What is this called? I did not see this trailer.
This game looks so good. Here, I'll blow it up a little bit for the chat to see it real quick.
Yeah, did they show this? Yeah, they showed it at the Game Awards.
Oh, dude, I love the art style.
No, like it's so good.
It's like realistic anime. I don't even know how to describe it.
Hmm.
And when I saw this, I was like, man, this looks like something I might buy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Oh,
buy
this is the Last Berserker or something, I think it's called. Or the first Berserker, sorry.
Berserker. Is this
So is this a
actually
part of the Berserk?
I
part
don't
of
know the
Berserk,
Berserker lore. I have no clue.
Gotcha.
But it
Okay,
looks sweet, huh?
That does look really good.
that does.
Should we talk
All
about
right.
like the winners of anything?
Yeah, that's what we're about to get into now, since we've kind of gone through all the trailers and whatnot. So one that I wanted to talk about before we get into like because we're not going to talk about all the winners. There's so many different categories,
No, just
right?
hit the main ones.
Yeah, we'll talk about the main
I
ones,
gotta go to bed,
but
too.
I really want to talk about one category, which is called the best adaptation of a video game into a show. So if you guys watch the game show awards, we know that Last of Us won, but the nominees were Castlevania, Twisted Metal, Gran Turismo, and the new Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm surprised Sonic wasn't in there, even though he's got a couple movies, but I think Sonic could have been on
I
that
didn't think
list too
nothing
easily.
came out Sonic this year though.
No,
Oh,
no, you're right. Yeah, that was last
That
year.
was
What?
last
Yeah,
year,
it was
so.
last year. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that The Last of Us should have won? I don't think The Last of Us should have won. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think it should have won from that list. Honestly, I would have probably given it to either the Super Mario Brothers movie or Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo was fantastic, by the way. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely watch it. What do you think, Joe? We'll go with you first.
The
movie director.
So I had a ton of fun with Twisted Metal.
Great. Yep. Great.
I did have a lot of fun with that. I do think that Last of Us deserves to win, only because I'll tell you this: it was the closest to an adaptation of a video game that I've ever seen. Right? Like they basically took a lot of that story, put it into a video game. When you're adapting something, right? Gran Turismo, I think, is like Gran Turismo blew my mind. It is such an amazing movie. If you haven't watched it, it's so good.
Yep.
But it's not an adaptation of the game. It's the result of a game.
Yes.
So it's different. That's why it doesn't.
It's a game themed movie more than anything.
Exactly.
Like
So that it doesn't deserve to win that.
That's like saying The Wizard. The Wizard is a game movie. It's so yeah, sort of. It's about games.
Exactly.
It's
Right.
not.
And then with Super Mario, it's a good. It's an okay movie. It's fun, and it you know you're it's not like it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't feel like a Super Mario game, right? Like you go into the Super Mario world and you're just telling a story within that world, right? But you're not. I don't feel like you're adapting the story like, you know. But there's not much story in Super Mario, so that's why I feel like The Last of Us is a deserving winner of that. Even though I probably had more fun watching Twisted Metal because it was just so like out there, you know, and it was kind of fun. But that's my take. What do you think, Joe?
What do you think, Joe?
So my personal favorite is definitely Twisted Metal. Like I loved that show.
It was so good.
It was exactly what I wanted from it. And that's hard these days to come across. I'm like, I just want it to be dumb. And the only thing it didn't have enough car combat. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. I think they should have had more car combat. But it was just silly and stupid and fun. and it did its job, and it did it well, and it didn't take itself too seriously, which I enjoyed because Twisted Metal shouldn't be super serious. Um, but out of like all the ones on the list, I do think The Last of Us deserves to win it because just out of the quality of how I think it was really well made. Obviously, shot well, writ well, directed well. It looked fantastic.
Mhm.
Good budget, great actors. It was just, but also what I really like about it is, and which is another thing I kind of like about that Jordan Peele and Kojima announcement too, is like we're kind of blurring the lines now between the media industry, between the games and the film industry and stuff
Right.
like that. And I like that The Last of Us took it seriously, whereas, and I think that needs to happen. Like Mario's a great movie and everything, but I think that just reinforces the idea that kids are for games are for kids and stuff. It's like a Disney movie almost. It's like more like a family friendly thing, which is fine. That's what Nintendo wants to be. But I like The Last of Us because it's like, nope, this is a serious story about serious topics. Even though it's a game, this is serious, and I like that. It's like, I don't know, giving more legitimacy to the video game world.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
that being said, my number 2 pick would still be Castlevania. Freaking love Castlevania.
Castlevania
Absolutely
was dope.
loved Castlevania. I liked that more than The Last of Us. But I'm just not a huge Last of Us fan in general, and I'm a massive Twisted Metal fan, and I'm a massive Castlevania. I love those. I still play Twisted Metal 2 constantly. Like when I'm sitting around and I'm like, I don't know what to do, I throw Twisted Metal 2 on and I just play and see how far I can get and do a round. Like it's just one of those comfort games for me. Like I always go back to it. So those would be my personal picks, but I have no problem with Last of Us winning. I think that is probably
I'm more of a
the
Black
correct
fan.
choice.
Yeah.
A what?
A Black fan, like Twisted Metal Black.
Oh, Twisted Metal Black. Oh, I love Twisted Metal Black too. Don't get me wrong, that one's fantastic too.
What's up, Down Phoenix?
What's up,
What?
Down Phoenix?
The only thing that drives me crazy about the Twisted Metal games is that when you bounce between them, all the special moves are different, and it always drives me nuts. So I go back to 2 because I know those ones. I don't have to look them up. I'm like, I know what to do to freeze. I know what to do to, you know what I mean, the up down commands and all that stupid crap.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're happy that they're bringing a new Twisted Metal game out then. So I know you're like pumped up for that to come.
I am beyond pumped for it, and
I feel like they announced that a long time ago, and we still haven't seen it, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it was a year and a half ago or about a year ago. They mentioned it.
I want More Than Life itself for it to come out with, the regular game, but I want it to have a VR mod more than anything else. I want to play it in PSVR 2 with like my racing steering wheel and my thing, and with my missiles on my thing. And
Oh yeah.
oh my God, would that be fun, dude? Like, oh, other than I probably get sick from the jumping over everything and going through all the crazy shit. But dude, I'm pretty hyped for it. Even if they don't do that, if it's just a regular game, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I love. It's like one of my favorite games of all time.
And Banky, to answer your question, because we probably weren't going to make it to that one. Yeah, Legend of Zelda did win an award. It won the award for Best Action Adventure Game. So that was the only award that it did win for the Game Awards. All right, so I think when it comes to the next win, we'll go to fighting games, and obviously Street Fighter One. I think Street Fighter One because it didn't have any competition.
It deserved to win, 100%.
It did deserve to win. I mean, it was the best fighting game this year, but obviously it didn't have any competition because when it comes to you had best fighting games or the fighting games that it was competing against, you had Mortal Kombat, obviously. You had Nickelodeon All Star Battle 2. God of Rock. God of Rock was I never even played. I don't even know what that game is. Mortal Kombat 1 and then
fighting game.
That's what I'm saying.
Rhythm game.
And then Pocket Bravery, like
yeah,
Well,
there was nothing there to
a
compete.
weak ass lineup. Other than Mortal Kombat,
we know that Mortal Kombat was its competition, and Mortal Kombat
Right.
11 did win the last time.
Right.
But like in the end, and it's just like when I was streaming today, we seen the issues that Mortal Kombat has, especially with online play. Plus, I mean, the DLC is ridiculous, stuff like that, and what you got to do to unlock everything if you don't want to just buy it. It's a great game. Don't get me wrong. I love playing it. and stuff like that. But playing it online, you guys seen, I was starting to rage. I was starting to put my little Christianity aside there. You know, just because I
Forgive
was
me,
just
Lord.
I was getting so mad because I could beat these scrubs, but they have this Wi-Fi connection, and then you add on the lag that their net code already has, and I couldn't even throw a projectile. And there were so many glitches and things that were broken. I don't know if you were in the stream with me, Cag, when I was about to rank up the last season. I was about to rank up, get the skin I wanted, and
yeah, and it froze.
and it didn't freeze. I beat the guy, and he just stood there like this.
Oh no, I didn't see that. And I saw the one where you got, you got the black screen. I think it was when you were ranking up.
And the black screen. The first month was the worst thing online. Every 3 or 4 matches, it would just drop. And so it was just like, and Street Fighter 6, whether you like Street Fighter or not, that is one of the best polished released games, fighting games to come out. And they needed to do that because they screwed up on 5 so bad. They knew they had to come correct. And hopefully Mortal Kombat will learn their lesson this time and come correct on the next one.
Listen, everybody knows I blame Sony for Street Fighter 5.
Right.
They forced Capcom to drop that game and it wasn't ready. They wanted to,
because have the modes in it. Didn't it have not even have like an arcade mode?
No
arcade. It didn't have arcade mode. It didn't have anything. And because
you release a fighting game with no arcade mode, that is
still to this day my most regretted purchase in a game. Day one purchase was Street Fighter.
That's what happens when a big company like either Nintendo or Microsoft or Sony or whoever funds a game for a third party. They have expectations. They want to recoup their money. And they wanted that game to be, I think, a launch title or close to the launch on the PS4 or something like that or whatever. But they did that to that game and No Man's Sky. Both of those games had horrendous launches behind Sony's expectations of those games to be ready at a certain time. But both of those games, years later, came back because they were full-fledged games. So that just lets you know that you have to give them time to develop, because if you have a bad launch, just like in anything, it's almost impossible for you to recoup after that launch, because people will forget about you, until you're like a part of the platinum hits or whatever, you're $19 and you ain't making no money off the game at all at that point. So
but look at
it's pretty bad.
Here's one award, and you probably don't have this on your list to talk about. I didn't agree with them winning, but Cyberpunk won.
It's on there.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so Cyberpunk wins. What's the name? What's the title of the award?
That one is.
Listen to this.
Give me a second here. Let's go. Cyberpunk. Yeah, I was just looking at.
It's like
most improvement.
No, yeah, that one would be good. That's a good award for them to win. But no, they win something like most supported content.
It's most ongoing game.
Most ongoing game.
Yeah,
up against Final Fantasy 14, up against Fortnite, up against all these games that have been cranking out content for like 7 to 8 years.
Fortnite, Final Fantasy, Apex Legends, and Genshin Impact.
These fools release a DLC pack and they get the award. What the heck? What is that?
Yeah, I think that was paid. I think that was paid for.
That had to have been.
Because they're trying to recoup the drastic loss they caught. Because when Cyberpunk released, it released with so much. First of all, they had that massive box collection, which was dope. That collection edition was dope. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it was dope. But then they also had an exclusive Xbox One, they had an exclusive controller. They had all of this stuff. Nobody bought that stuff, man, because the game was so broken that if you were an early adopter, you got it. But after that, people were like, we're not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. There were so many videos showing the NPCs and stuff walking around, and then their bottom halves would just disappear. And they were just like floating around and stuff. Like, the game was so broken. So I think, like both of you guys said, it should have, been an award for the most improved game. Because that literally is the most improved game from launch to finish. Because that game now is amazing. It's absolutely
And that'd be
amazing.
a good category if you think about it. There's quite a few games that get released janky and they kind of have a renaissance or rise from the ashes.
Right.
So
Mhm.
you
Like-
could do that every year, I'm sure.
Never in my life would I thought something like Fortnite probably deserved to win, or I think Final Fantasy personally, 14
Mm.
should
have won because they continue to freaking. I don't know why Dead by Daylight's not on there either because it's like
Dude,
That's true,
Fortnite
too.
Fortnite should have won. Reason I say Fortnite should have won is because Fortnite has milked so many people year after year after year, month after month after month, for skins. And look at the amount of skins they've come out with. Everything has a skin. Fortnite is crazy. I mean, I don't understand how that game is still around.
it is. And then they announced
Today.
Lego Fortnite
Yeah, right.
at this event.
Yeah.
And it's gonna do amazing. Like that game is a never-ending cash cow. It really is a never-ending cash cow, and I don't think it ever stopped. The Final Fantasy 14, I can't gauge that one, Joe, because I never played it, so I don't know anything about Final Fantasy 14. So I trust you, though. I trust what
It's
you're
been
saying.
around for years. I lost my life. I lost 2 years of my life to it.
Oh, so that's how you are. That's how I had with World of Warcraft. That's why I said I got to be careful with stuff like that because
I literally had to like put down Final Fantasy 14, almost have a funeral, and say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't do this no more.
Apologize to your family. I'm
And
so
even
sorry.
and then even when I did that, like they probably have got 4 or 5 expansion packs since then. Like it's crazy, like how big the world is, right? I like how they're Ed Morrow's talking about Tribes. I don't know if you guys ever played Tribes. I used to play Tribes with Ed a long time ago, and someone was saying there's a new Tribes coming out. Do you guys know that game at all?
Mm-mm.
Heard of it, but I've never played it.
It was, oh my gosh, that was something we played so much. It was crazy. But what's another category we got to hit?
Banky, to answer your question, I have Hogwarts Legacy. I haven't played it yet. So no, I haven't played it yet.
I'm
I
like
actually-
20.
so-
my son beat it, and I'll
Good.
never play it because I just don't get in Harry Potter.
I like.
All right,
Harry
so
Potter.
we'll hit this one. And I think this is a good one, and it's one of the only awards that this game ended up winning. But this is for studio and game direction, and the winner of that one went to Alan Wake 2. The nominees were Insomniac Games' Marvel Spider-Man, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Wonder,
That's a
and
stack.
Lorien Studios' Baldur's Gate, but it ended up going to Alan Wake 2, which I think was definitely deserved.
Yeah, I
Alan
think
Wake
that's
2
fine.
was phenomenal. I mean,
Alan Wake won a couple awards,
It did. It did win a couple awards.
and Mario Wonder won one. You know, it didn't win anything.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2, man,
Because okay,
because it's an 8-hour campaign, and why go back to it? That's my thought.
exactly. I platinum that game. I beat the game, and if they don't drop any DLC, I'll never touch it again.
Exactly.
The game was great, but it wasn't game of the year quality. I don't even know why it was even. Honestly, I don't. It came out this year. That's why I was in the listing. But I told everybody the 2 games that were in contention for game of the year was Baldur's Gate 3 and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. There was no question in my mind. I knew that Spider-Man wasn't going to win, even though I enjoyed the campaign. I thought Venom looked amazing. I thought Kraven was a great villain in the game. Croc looked fantastic. The game was great. I have nothing bad to say about it. Just not a game of the year contender. So it didn't deserve to win any of that.
What are you getting your money's worth out of? That game or 200 hours in Tears of the Kingdom? Like you could put
Right.
hundreds of hours into that. You can get so much mileage out of that game. So that's the game of the year, like you said. What's game of the year contender? It's a game that you could play for half of the year and be
Yes.
and enjoy it and get
Well, I
something out of
imagine
it.
Baldur's Gate is no small stretch
Oh
either.
no, I'm
right?
sure it's
I don't know.
sure it's
I
for
don't know
Oscars.
Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know. I
No,
haven't played it. I haven't watched
Mm-mm.
anything on it. I'm a big fan of Divinity 1 and 2, and I know those are the
Yep.
new developers of that.
Mhm.
And the only reason why I haven't played it is because I'm waiting for the physical that's coming out. Because
see,
that's a game I'd buy physical.
with Baldur's Gate, there's it's definitely was worth winning the game of the year, but the thing with Baldur's Gate, it was in preview for years.
Right.
Like people have been playing this game for like 2 years already. So they had a lot of feedback and they had a lot of input and they had a lot of time to bring this game to where it's at. And it deserves where it's at. The game is dope. But before we get to talking about the game of the year, I got one more that I want to talk about, which I think um, deserves to be talked about, and it deserved to win this award, which was the best independent game. So the nominations for the best independent game was Viewfinder, Dave the Diver, Cocoon, and Dredge, and also Sea of Stars. And the winner obviously was Sea of Stars. Um, Sea of Stars was an absolutely phenomenal game. It came out of nowhere for me. Um, I know I played it and John played it. I'm not sure if Reggie got into
I've
that
played
one
it
yet.
too. I haven't beat
And
it
and
yet.
and it's absolutely phenomenal. It deserved to win that. I mean, they were saying there was some contention about Dave the Diver because they said it wasn't an indie game because it was backed by like a huge studio and all of this stuff or whatnot. So they had a lot of crying about that. But who cares? Because I would have never bought Dave the Diver anyways. Doesn't even sound like a game I want to play,
It's
even though my
good.
name is Dave.
Dude, no, that game is legit. Don't sleep on Dave the Diver. It's way more deep than. Oh wow, that seems because it's deep.
He
That,
dives
that
deep.
wasn't a pun. That's not where I was going. The gameplay keeps it. It's like you start out, you're like cooking, and you're like okay, and then it's like cooking and fishing, and then you're like okay, and then it's like cooking, fishing, and like now you got a little farm. You're like okay, and now it's like waiting on people cooking and fishing, and then it's like bosses and like shmup bosses, and it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. Like it's a great game. Like I honestly is like it's not game of the year or anything, but I would recommend Dave the Diver. Believe it's a good game. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Sea of Stars was worth it. I'm
Sea of
happy
Stars
to
is
see
way
that
better.
it won.
Sea
Yeah,
of Stars
yeah.
is way better. I'm not gonna even remotely argue that. I'm dying for the Western release to come out. They have a Japanese release that I think is coming out like this week, like last week or something for Sea of Stars, but the American one hasn't come out yet. I'm just waiting for that.
And for another one, most anticipated game, Joel's gonna love this. The most anticipated games nominees were Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, Tekken 8, Hades 2, and then Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. And the winner for that one was Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth was the most anticipated game. For me, it was Tekken 8. I'm still like I thought Tekken 8 was going to meet this year. I was so hoping it was going to meet this year, make it, but it didn't. They pushed it to January, which it will win.
I'm glad it is being pushed a little bit because it's
Yeah.
like the start of the new year, where we've kind of run our course for Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. It'll be a nice fresh,
Well, it'll win Fighting Game of the Year next year.
for sure.
I don't think anything is going to.
What about Nickelodeon
come up
All
against
Star
it.
Brawls 3, bro?
Yeah,
Three.
dude.
Yeah, it's gonna it'll be in the nominees. And then we had another category for best action game this year. The nominees, and I got an issue with this one, but the nominees were Remnant 2, Ghost Runner 2, Dead Island 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Armor Core Fires of Rubicon. So the winner was Armor Core Fires of Rubicon.
Which I hear is good.
A great game.
But
I played it, but I think Remnant 2 should have won.
I agreed. I thought Remnant 2 was just so, like, from the first one to the second one, night and day. Felt so good. Everything feels good in that game.
If you haven't played Remnant 2, first of all, it came out at $49. It wasn't a $70 game. Reachable to everybody. The game is absolutely amazing. hands down. Leveling up, crafting, everything is so awesome in that game. When you play with others, it's an amazing game. The only complaint that I could ever give for Remnant 2 is in the beginning, you can get lost in what the hell you have to do.
Right.
Because they don't give you a clear direction on what you have to do, and everybody's story starts off different from someone else's story. So, which is kind of weird, but you ultimately come to the same conclusion. But in the beginning, you literally don't know what you're doing. You literally don't know what you're doing. That's my only complaint about it.
I feel like it was a little bit more obvious what to do in 2 than it was in 1. 1 was even worse. 1 was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what's going on? They just put you in this world going, figure it out, right? And so with Remnant 2, at least you're fighting and you're in the world. But that world was like, I think we all just drew, because it's random. Like Cag's game could be different than my game, could be different. But we all spawn on the same board. That's like the biggest board in the game, probably. So like, you're like, what are we supposed to do? Where are you supposed to go? Where some other people, they spawned on like littler boards, you know? And then now so once you get through that first one, we just had to figure it out. And we did. It was fun.
Yeah, and we still need to make it back to that game.
Yeah.
That's not going to stay on the shelf.
We got sidetracked with that one puzzle.
Yes.
I just wanted to get done. And it was like 2 hours on one puzzle. We're just trying to figure it out.
All right, so moving along, this one will be really quick because this game definitely should have won. So it's best family game, if you guys care about anything like that.
I knew
it. Nominees were Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Sonic Superstars, Pikmin 4, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Super Mario Bros. Wonder deserved to win. It's a phenomenal game. The first Mario game I've beat in a long time that I've actually given some time to actually try to beat. So we knew that was going to win. Sonic could have won easily, but going up against Mario, I don't think Sonic's ever going to win unless it's in some type of Mario racing game or something like that. So I think Mario won. What do you guys think? Good choice?
I knew it was going to it.
Gotcha. Joe was like, yep, I knew that one was going to win. No problems.
I'm surprised they released the new Sonic, even like in competition with that. Like I figured they would have pushed that out and like done it maybe in the January or something like that. I don't see why they put them out at the same time, and it didn't sell that well. I've heard it didn't meet their expectations. They said so.
Yeah, I think it could have did better. For sure.
Their other game, the Frontiers or whatever, I guess sold way better. I didn't think that one did that great either. So I don't know. I am looking forward to that new Sonic.
I don't even know where Sonic is. I don't know anything about the games. I can't, like, when they give me a new trailer, I'm just like, I've never been a fan of Sonic, even though I'm a Sega Genesis fanboy, Sega fanboy through and through. And I played 1 and I played 2, and they were always fine, But I've never gotten into Sonic.
I'm not obsessed like some people. I don't think it's the greatest game. They're fun little platformers.
My kids love it only because it's 4 players on
the music.
Time.
See, I didn't even know it was 4 players. I didn't even know they got there.
Yeah, it's 4 players.
For me, it was always Sonic and Tails, or Sonic and Knuckles.
It's chaotic with 4 players. It's like
Knuckles is chaotic. I'm sorry. That's a terrible game.
No. All right, so so I mean, we really kind of went over the most of the stuff. Most of this other stuff is really kind of like mobile games and stuff like that, and then music, which Final Fantasy 16 won Best Soundtrack, which is pretty awesome. It went up against some good ones, but I think Final Fantasy deserved to win the.
They should have best cutscenes because Final Fantasy 16 has some of the best cutscenes I've ever seen in my life.
It got people when that game they showed the trailers for it. It got people riled up. But for the soundtrack score, Final Fantasy went up against Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, Tears of the Kingdom, and Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush had a really good soundtrack, but Final Fantasy
Hi-Fi
deserved
Rush
to win.
did take an award last night.
It did take an award last night, so
Oh, not last
happy
night.
about
Sorry,
it.
it's a couple nights.
The other night, yeah, it got best audio design.
Right.
Because obviously the game is a music design. You play to the beat, and your hits become stronger if you match the beat of the music that's playing in the game. So that's why they won best audio design. That was dope. So it really deserved that. But Final Fantasy, I think, always has some of the best soundtracks that match the gameplay, that match the sweeping landscapes that you see when it opens up and everything, or when you're playing a boss and it just ramps up. So I really think it deserved to win that. But Hi-Fi Rush was definitely like a close second for me.
Yeah, Final Fantasy always hitting with the good music. I mean, it's no ease, but it's pretty awesome.
Well, Ease is always rocking, but Final Fantasy tries to bring a little tear to your eye. You know what I mean? They try to get you. Ease is just like kick ass.
Ease, yeah, it's very just like.
It's so fun, dude, when you get out in the open world and the music's jamming and you're just slaying everything in sight. I can't wait for the new one.
Soon.
So coming down to the game of the year. Nominees were Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, Superman, Mario Brothers Wonder, and why this is even in there, I don't even know, but Resident Evil 4. we all know that Baldur's Gate won. It deserved to win. Baldur's Gate deserved to win, but also it could have went left or right with Tears of the Kingdom, because Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate, I mean, they could have went left or right with that one, and no one would have been mad if Tears of the Kingdom won.
I would have been.
Or
mad.
Baldur's Gate won. No, but I don't think anybody would have been mad.
I would have been mad.
Well, we're gonna let Joel explain upon that. Go ahead, Joel.
Well, I just think like when they were announcing the nominees, and I didn't know yet. No one had spoiled it for me yet. And I was off Twitter, and I was just like, you know what? I hope Baldur's Gate 3 wins, but if any of these, even Resident Evil 4, I knew that wasn't going to win. But the one I didn't want to win was Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I just don't think that. This is just me. I'm not into the new Zelda games. You know, I don't like that.
I'm in the right place, thank God. I don't like Breath of the Wild.
I don't like Breath of the Wild. I tried. I did. I put like 15, maybe 20 hours. Attempts. I beat like 3 Divine Beasts. It just wasn't a Zelda game. And I've said this on this stream before, on streams where Zelda was the one where Breath of the Wild was like, you know what? I don't need to play this game because it has Zelda in the title.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't need to do it anymore. And I put it down. And with the new one, and and I might be speaking out of pocket or whatever, but like I just felt like it didn't look like anything new. Like they just built upon the world that they have already built on.
Right.
And so I just didn't feel like it should be game of the year. And I'm really happy it was Baldur's Gate 3, even though I don't know anything about that game and I've never played it. I played like other Baldur's Gate games, and I'm a huge fan of the Dark Alliance Baldur's Gate. Like those are my favorites.
Those are so fun, dude.
Those are my.
Oh, I guess they're on GameCube too.
But so that's why I don't feel like I would have been mad if they would have won Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like, come on, really? Like,
well, I think you and the majority of people feel the same way when it comes to Baldur's Gate, because not only did Baldur's Gate win the Game of the Year award, it won the Player's Choice Award. And I think that is the more important award than the Game of the Year award, is the fans and the players voting. And it won. It wasn't even, it literally could have went to Zelda. Like the Player's Choice Award, we just didn't know, but it also went to Baldur's Gate, was a Player's Choice Award. And then they went on to win quite a few other awards here. I'm just going through. So we got the Player's Choice Award. They have the Player's Choice Award. They have the Game of the Year Award. They have Best Role Playing Game Award. So that was the third award that they won, and then they also have Best Multiplayer Game Award, which is the fourth award that they won. Which that one could have been hit or miss, but there wasn't much in there for it to compete against other than Diablo. It had Party Animals, Super Mario Brothers, Wonder, and it had Street Fighter. Was what it was competing against. I think the only real competition was Diablo for that best multiplayer game right there. But Baldur's Gate cleaned up. It literally was the best game this year.
Yeah, there was a point where they were just announcing a ton of awards really quick, and it was, and the winner is Baldur's Gate 3, and the winner is Baldur's Gate 3, and the winner is Baldur's Gate 3. Like they cleaned house in one of those like little segments that they do.
Oh yeah, and it got won the award for community support. Also, another Larian Baldur's Gate award right there. I kind of I felt like they knew. The reason I felt like they knew they were gonna win because did you see the guy wearing the armor?
Yeah.
Like who comes to the Game Awards like that unless you know you're gonna win? You know what I'm saying? Because if you just imagine somebody from Spider-Man, one of the directors or people making Spider-Man were literally wearing a Spider-Man suit and not winning nothing. That don't happen. Because that just doesn't happen. So I was like, when I saw him, I was like, it's sealed. Baldur's Gate taking all of this home tonight.
Yeah, I don't know how it works in the video game world, and I don't even know if I should say this, but there's been a lot of festivals that I've won, and I knew way ahead of time.
Oh yeah, you already.
I'll even tell you, Keg. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to this festival. I've already won 2 awards, but I already know this. It's already been told to me.
Yeah, because they want you to come. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to like skip out because you don't know that you're gonna win something or whatever. So I knew.
Look bad. It's like they don't even care about this award. They're not even here to show up. So it's like,
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw him in the full armor, I was like, well, we know who's winning the game of the year today.
I just like here's what I thought when I saw that dude in full armor. Because I was like, should I play Baldur's Gate 3? Maybe I will at some point. I'll wait for the physical. But when I saw that game, I was like, or when I saw him dressed in armor, I was like, okay, some freaking nerds geeked out on making this game, and it's probably amazing. It just
so Gordo, no Bill Clinton kid this time. So they had it locked down.
Fluke guy was there. Fluke guy was there.
Mm-hmm. So what? Okay, I just want to know. We'll go with Joe first. Mm-hmm. What's your overall feels about the Game Awards? Your likes and dislikes about the Game Awards, and do you think that it was a good show and it did what it needed to do?
So overall, I think, other than the big Sega announcement, that was the only thing that really got me like super excited. Like there were games, Monster Hunter, like there are games that I'm like, the Mana games, like I'm looking forward to them, but I wasn't like, it didn't like make me freak out the way that one did. So that was all right. But overall, I think they do a fine job. And one thing I like about it is that I am glad Baldur's Gate won, because Baldur's Gate was a polished experience that wasn't broken. It didn't require a bunch of updates, and it's complete. And the older I get, I'm like almost like anti DLC, unless like I don't like DLC because I just want a really complete experience like that, where it's like, I dare you to play this game and you can put 400 hours into it as is. Good luck. Like, you're not even going to see everything in this game. I like that better, like complete experience, than the here's your piecemeal, and then you get this, and then you get this, and then you get this, and you get this, and you got to buy this, and buy it this, and buy this, and buy this, and then the upgrade version, then the complete version. Like, I'm just tired of that business model. So I'm just glad that something polished, that worked, that the fans loved, like there's no controversy, like it was just good. And that's what won, and that made me feel good. I'm glad, because I would have been like, if Tears of the Kingdom won, I'd be like, here we go, kissing Nintendo's ass again. Everything Nintendo's gold. Exactly, everyone's right. Like, because people just they give too much hype to that stuff. Like, I love Zelda and I love Mario. Don't get me wrong, but it's not just like instant everything. It's the best thing in the world just because it says that on it. It's the best thing in the world because it's that brand. I don't feel that way. And
yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 just seems like a, I don't know. I'm glad that won. I think that was a cool choice. I like the show. I thought it was decent.
I think it was pretty good too. And to go with where you're saying, you know, DLC, this version of that, right? Who started that? I would say Street Fighter started that with Street Fighter 2. Then you had Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2,
Oh my
Super Street
God.
Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street
Yeah.
Fighter 2 Hyper Fighter. How many Street Fighters do we have on Genesis and Super Nintendo back then? How many times we had to buy Street Fighter back then?
One
Arcade
time.
edition, championship edition.
For me, it was one time,
Turbo
and Ed
edition.
Morrow, who is in the chat, he'll probably know this. So my cousin Anthony, what we do is we bought World Warrior, right? And then what is it? Championship edition comes out, or is it Turbo? Which one?
Yeah.
I can't remember on the Super Nintendo. Right?
Genesis
I know
Genesis was
championship edition's on
champion.
the Genesis.
and the Turbo, I think, was
Yeah.
SNES,
So basically, we just went to Blockbuster, rented the new one, took the stickers off, and put them on the World Warrior and sent it back. They never did it. And then when Super came out, we did the same thing. Boom. We never had to buy it. We just upgraded, man.
Big brain.
That was the first. I think those games back in the day were the first invention of DLC, and I think Capcom is the first big studio to normalize the same game getting incremental upgrades and charging us full price every time they did it. You know, at least that's me remembering it as a kid growing up, and it was just like crazy.
So last week, a phenomenal documentary came out called "Here Comes a New Challenger." So if you watch it, that wasn't on purpose. Like like the way it came out, that was like demand and things that were happening. And then if you've never heard of Street Fighter 2 Rainbow Edition, which is the hacked version, and why Turbo had to come out and stuff like that. Fascinating movie. You got to check it out. It is so good, and they did such a great job on the history of Street Fighter 2. And then you go, oh, that's why we got so many freaking versions of this thing, because you had Super Street Fighter 2, and then they had to release Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So there's 4, right? So there's Street Fighter 2 World Warrior, then there's Street Fighter 2. Oh my gosh, we might have to bring up the list just for Super Nintendo.
Banky, I think, hold on, did Banky put it here? Who put it in there? Yeah, Banky put in Champion, Hyper, Turbo, Super.
Yeah, so there's Hyper Edition. Yes.
And those hacks were actually done by arcade owners of those games. So the hacks were actually done directly to the arcade machines.
Yeah, they were chips, but they were coming out of I believe Latin America. So basically, if you watch the documentary, they came up with a deal with those guys that they could keep making those Rainbow Editions, but in their country. It's weird. You gotta watch it. It's amazing. I'm gonna bring up a Street Fighter 2 list here.
Here Comes a New Challenger. Is that what you said it was called?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I have it on my Plex server. Joe, if you ever want to get on my server, just let me know. You are a friend to the channel now, so definitely I'll put you on there. You get to watch it for free.
All right, Street Fighter series. I want a Wikipedia list of Street Fighter video games. Oh my gosh,
dude! I know 3 had quite a few versions too, didn't it?
Yeah. Street Fighter 3 New Generation, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Street Fighter 3 Alpha, Street Fighter 3. It was one other 3. You had New Generation.
Yeah, I remember.
Second Impact. Street Fighter 3 Second Impact.
So yeah, there was a Champion Edition,
and I'm like, which one do I buy? I don't even know, dude.
Is this real? There can't be. Oh my gosh, there was an Ultra.
Dude. Yeah, there were so many.
Street Fighter 2 World Warrior, Street Fighter 2 Champions Edition, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2
Yep.
Anniversary Edition. Well, I guess those are later.
Mhm.
So
But they
1,
still
2,
made 'em,
3,
dude. It was,
4,
like,
5.
ridiculous. Yep.
That is crazy.
Dude, they had so many. Well, okay, so Joe, what do you think about the awards? Well,
Oh,
get
the
your
award
opinion.
show?
How do you think
I
how do you
think
feel
it's way
about
too
it?
long.
Hmm.
I think it's way too long. I think that I actually like, okay, cut all that music garbage out. Like, I don't want to see a live band perform the hit song from freaking Tears of the Kingdom, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that.
Hmm.
And I'm a
Let's
musician.
just Rapper the Rapper. I'm not interested.
I
Right.
just, obviously Shinobi, Golden Axe, that was like, just like Joe, that was the highlight of the freaking,
That's all it was. I would have been happy.
yeah.
Yeah.
If that's all it was, I'd be like, sweet.
And like, they just need to cut down the time. Production value, I think, with now that they got security and stuff, I feel like they really got that down.
Yeah.
I
thought the host, the lady, was hot as hell. I will point that out. I don't know who she is, but
I don't know who she was. She was way better than the host last year. Like like her jokes were landing most of the time. There were a couple that didn't land, but like the last year's girl who was wearing that Muppet freaking dress, they still need to dress those girls better, I think. But that girl was not funny at all. Like none of her jokes were doing well. So, but yeah, I think it's great. It's always a fun time. I watch it with my boys, and they're once in a while I'm like, hey, turn your head because this looks a little crazy. This game, I don't know what's going to come out. Especially when I said, see, from the makers of Dead by Daylight, I'm like, turn around, kids. But I don't know. It seems good. I was a little like, this award's rigged. The Cyberpunk. That was the only bad feeling I got during that whole show. Which if it's only one, that's good. Because like I'll watch the Oscars every year. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so rigged.
Yeah. I think from the awards, I think they placed the Sega announcement in the correct spot because you could have served me straight garbage after that, and I would have been okay with it.
Right.
Because that changed from watching the trailers when they first started. I was like, okay. I was kind of doing other stuff while I was playing. Then that came in, and just my neck snapped. I said, "What?" And I was so amped, and the hype took me all the way into probably like the last hour of the show, and then I was kind of done with it. At like the last hour, I was kind of like, all right, we already know Baldur's Gate's going to win, whatever, and Microsoft before kind of, I think, overhyped what they were going to do. Obviously, they showed Senua's new game. You got Blade, right, and then stuff. But I found out something later after the show ended, and it was kind of due to the show forcing the Baldur's Gate guys off of the stage and not giving them enough time to speak. They were supposed to shadow drop Baldur's Gate 3. They were supposed to announce it when they won. We won the award. Now Baldur's Gate is available for Xbox right now, today. They were supposed to announce that, and they didn't get the opportunity to do so. Yeah, they were supposed to announce, it's available now, yeah. But they were supposed to say it right there in the show. And they didn't get an opportunity, so that was like a little blunder there that happened. But I thought the show was good. I once again, the Sega announcement was the highlight of the show. There's nothing in that show that could have topped that after they did it. This is nothing. Everything else was like, okay, I'm cool with it or whatever, but that kept me there, and it kept me happy for all of this show. And that's all I really care about. I'm so happy about that. So, chat, we're reading what you guys are saying. Let us know down in the chat, and let us know what you think about the Game Awards. and what were your agreements and disagreements with anything that happened with the Game Awards. Down Phoenix says, I really look forward to Hellblade 2, but I'm worried that Microsoft will mess it up somehow. I hope not. I don't think so. Microsoft has been hands off on all of their properties. Now that's a good thing and a bad thing, right? If you have a studio that can handle it, which I think the studio that's doing Hellblade can handle it, but then you also have to have studios where you have to rein them in, because if we look at what was the game that can't remember the game, the vampire game that just dropped.
Oh yeah.
They needed to be more. They just mentioned that. They said they needed more direction and needed to be more hands-on with that game, and they needed more time. So like when it comes to Microsoft, their approach is, we're the money, you're the creators, go create great games. Redfall, yes, thank you, Down Phoenix. We're the money. We're going to give you the money. You're the creators of these games and franchises. Go make great games. So we can't really blame Microsoft, I don't think, for it.
I prefer that approach to the most part. Just unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way.
Exactly, because I think when you have a bag, right? You got all this money, you kind of lose the motivation to go after the money, because you have this big old company that has trillions of dollars, and you know that you can make mistakes. The pressure put on the smaller studio to where they know if they make a mistake, they're going to shut down, is the type of pressure that makes the games great.
Right.
We got to win. We
That's why
we
Final
have
Fantasy
to win.
is what it is, right?
Pressure makes diamonds, boys.
There you go. So that's one of the downsides of having this company that can afford to lose. And if you look at the industry, we got Bungie that's about to potentially disappear. Can just think about that for a second. Just think about that. That's insane.
Really is.
Bungie is a phenomenal company. They got what they asked for. They wanted away from the corporate structure of Microsoft. Microsoft said, okay, go ahead, do your thing. We're going to let you go, whatever. And they got what they wanted. And they made this game. This was great. But now they're in a position where Sony may do a hostile takeover and shut them down, basically. So sometimes you need someone to give you direction and tell you what to do, because Bungie made Halo what Halo was. And you needed to keep making Halo because you made it what it was. And they didn't want to make Halo anymore. Or the way they wanted to do, they wanted to take Halo to the route of games with services like they did with Destiny, and Microsoft wasn't ready for that. But look at it now. That's where it went anyways. So if you would have just let them do what they wanted to do, the ideas that they had, because all the ideas for Destiny is what they were trying to do with Halo. So if you just would have let them do it, they would have did it. So that's my little rant about that whole thing.
Ed Morrow says, what's the worst game of the year? From what I hear, it's Kong.
Yeah. Yes. No. Gollum.
Kong or Gollum.
Yeah, Kong or Gollum.
I think Gollum got more press.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, I haven't played either, so I can't really say. But man, freaking Kong looks really bad.
More people bought Gollum because it went to $10 2 weeks after it came out.
But if you watch,
everybody's like buying it.
I made a TikTok when they announced Gollum, and I'd said, this looks like garbage. And I said, this is not going to be good. What do you think? And someone just commented on that TikTok not too long ago, and they're like, man, this video aged really well.
Yeah, right. You were right on. Spot on, friend.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get to know if Kong is bad because I'll never buy it. It would have to go.
I'm getting that. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, if it's digital and it's like a $2 buy, I'll buy it. Just like Life of Black Tiger, I streamed that. Have you ever played that?
No.
Holy smokes.
I've seen the AVGN video. I've never played it. It looks
did he play that one?
think he did. If
It
it's the game I'm
is-
thinking of, where you're literally like mating with tigers, like
Dude-
it's like just, and you like ride around on animals and
Dude,
shit.
it's so bad. Like it's so broken. You're like,
Mhm.
we were playing it, and there's these giraffes, and they started to like run into each other, and then they formed this huge pyramid of giraffes in the sky. Oh my gosh, it's so bad.
Wow, that's insane. Now I've never played that game, and I got, like I said, I got Gollum because it was $10 on Woot, on Amazon Woot, and I'm quite sure Kong would be $10 on Woot.
No, you just gotta wait. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
paying $50
Played
for it.
both
I'm just
Gollum
gonna
and
get it.
Kong.
I'll wait till it's
And bought disc
$10,
copies.
$15.
You can tell
Yeah.
he did it just for the content. Yeah. I don't. I wonder. Did Johnny say in that video which one's worse? I wonder. I haven't watched it, so
Gollum, I think he said he hated it.
hated it more than Kong.
I don't know if he's played Kong. Maybe he did. I don't know, but yeah.
Well,
in
they
the video,
said in his new
put out.
video that came out.
Yeah,
has
he talks
Kong in
about
there.
Gollum, and he says it sucks.
So we're exactly 2 weeks out from Christmas, right? What what games are you guys asking Santa for? What are we buying for Christmas? What are we looking forward to getting or buying that we haven't bought already? Because most of them probably bought already.
I just bought this for Black Friday. I'm not buying shit for Christmas.
Right.
Bro.
Look at that, dude. That's stacks, bro.
Yeah, dude. I went ham. I'm good.
I didn't buy anything for Black Friday that I can think of.
Neither did I. Had everything. Everything that
I did
was
too.
already
I was
out,
like,
I
there's
already
nothing
had.
here I don't have, right? So
I got a bunch of obscure like PlayAsia stuff and Red Art game stuff, like low print crap, like stuff like that.
yeah, all the
Stuff
Red
I've
Art
been
stuff they
meaning to
sent to
get.
me.
Oh, dude, I wish. I'm not there yet, but yeah, and they were all VG Video Games Plus had like every Red Art game on sale for $19.99 Canadian.
Oh, we got virtual
Virtual
tip.
Trap. Just
Subscribe. Who just subscribed? Oh,
Virtual Trap.
oh yeah, that's my nephew. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the sub. Go check out his channel. He plays League of Legends.
Ed Morrow said he's getting a car for Christmas.
It's good. It's a good thing to get. I don't really have
Yeah.
any games that I care that I want to get unless it's something I need for my collection. Like I tried to buy Ys 3 for like the third time on the Famicom, right? From Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Every time something goes wrong.
So Sarmaru's in Japan right now, right? And he bought this Ys collection, which is I've never seen.
For what?
He showed it on his pickup. I have to look what it was. I have to go back and video for the video, but has all these music CDs in there plus the game. I can't remember what it was, but I'll try to send you the link. But he's in Japan. You could just reach out to him and ask him to pick the game up for you. He'd probably pick
That's
it
how
up.
I got my Revenge of Shinobi Japan version.
Yeah. And he just literally just picked up a Ys game. He just showed it, and it looked phenomenal. It's in a purple and gold big box.
Oh, I already have it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the
yeah,
Ultra
he has
Falgana. Like it's got like tons of CDs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he was saying.
I already have
That's
that
what he said.
I already have
Yeah,
that
he
one.
picked that up. So I've been watching his stuff, dude. Like the Japan, I can't wait for Japan, Joel. It would be such an epic trip if all of us can go.
Yeah, we do need
The whole
to
Media
go, right?
Glitch Crow go, and that would just be on a whole nother level, man. We got to make that happen. Gordo said, "Kids are getting Mario Wonder. Great choice. Santa's been buying me stuff all year long.
Yeah.
Absolutely."
Exactly.
I also need Ys 5 on the Super Famicom.
You didn't get the Genesis. Was it Ys 3? You haven't gotten that one yet, have you?
No, that's so hard to find with a good manual, everything nice and clean like I want it. There's
Yeah.
always some on eBay, but they're always like the labels are jacked. They don't have a freaking manual or the freaking thing. I've been looking. I found one once, but when I was like, "Oh my god, I should buy it," but I had a bunch of medical bills from COVID. I had to still take care of.
That's the one you're probably going to have to piece together. find a great carton box, right? The great carton box, and then find a manual somewhere. Unless, like I said, unless you find it all together, which could happen.
It does happen. It's just, is it at the right? It's got to be the right timing, right?
Yeah.
Like where I have. So, take a look at this wall, kids, because it'll be gone soon.
What's all on that wall?
That's the PS.
Oh, I still gotta get my Sega stuff from you, or my little stack of
yeah,
stuff.
I have that boxed up. I got Gordo's stuff that he bought. If you don't know, Joe, I'm selling a ton of my collection off.
Oh yeah.
Just because.
Cool.
Are you?
What's that?
Are you selling that Splatterhouse for PS3?
There's probably like 10. Because that PS3 collection is probably like, gosh, I don't even know, hundreds upon hundreds, right? I'm probably gonna keep like 20 games. Like the ones that made something, like Splatterhouse, Shadows of the Damned, 3D Dot Hero, my Final Fantasies. It's a small stack. Everything else is going. What's crazy is Gordo will be here in a couple days. He's gonna pick through it all. He already has.
Man. Gordo always got the bag, man. Gordo, don't buy everything up.
Well, if you have any cool PS4 stuff or PS1 stuff, I'm always interested in that.
I got PS1 stuff, man. I just sold my whole Silent Hill collection.
I probably couldn't afford all of that at once anyway.
I sold Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, Origins. Like, I'm getting rid of.
That's very expensive. I'm good.
It was. It was a nice little thing.
Right before Christmas.
If you don't know, Joe, I was hospitalized for COVID, almost died. I
do know. I remember watching. I've been watching you guys for a long time.
Right. And so since
oxygen and everything.
Since then, I've literally paid out of pocket about $30,000 in medical bills.
That sounds fun.
And yeah, it is. And so like, I'm like, you know what? I'm never going to, even if I started today to play all these games, I'm never going to be able to play them all. If that's all I did. And so it's like, you know what? I'm going to keep the stuff that's important to me. Like my Road to Recovery stuff, Sega Genesis things that I love, NES things that I love. It was tough. It was hard to go through that stuff, but it is what it is. It's done.
So like twice a year I'll do like a purge where I go through my collection and I will pull out everything I'm not in love with and then slowly rebuild, and then I just keep doing that over and over and trying to condense it into like what I really love. But I have some OCD problems, man. I'm just being for real with you. Like I have some games that I'm like, well, if I have all 4 of them, I might as well get the 5th one. You know what I mean? Like I can't. I'm real. The same way. I have a real problem with that. Even if I'm like, wow, this game is absolute trash, but it's part of the set, so we're getting it. So I definitely have some stuff in here that I don't love, but I still couldn't sell. So I need to like. You sound like you've gotten over the final hump there. Yeah. Where you're like, dude, I'm cutting loose. I don't need this. I just want what I love, and that's it. And I'm not there yet, but we'll get there. Like I completed a PSVR set. I got all of the whole thing. I have every game, and now I'm like, I don't want to play these fucking games. Half of these games are trash. I do not want these games, but they're cool. I'm glad I have it, but I don't know.
Don't feel bad. I mean, I've gone through that. I always give Joel credit for this, and I'll continue to give him credit because he helped me with that impulsive buying that I was doing, and he helped me with the FOMO, fear of missing out, because I was, oh my goodness, it was insane. And now I only collect I went back to what I was doing before. I only collect what I have a personal experience with that I love. If I ain't never played it, because people have tried to, hey, this is this, buy this. I don't want it. If I never had a personal experience with it, I don't want it. I'm 42 years old. I'm not going to build this love affair with this franchise at this age. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. So if it's something old school that I never played, I'm probably never ever going to play it. I don't desire to have it. So I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff from the collection that I'm never going to play to, but putting more stuff. If you see right behind me here, that orange cart and that stack, that's all MVS games.
Damn.
So I've gotten into MVS. I'm a huge Neo Geo fan, but I've also learned that I can get the super expensive games on MVS for a lot cheaper. And this just shows you how compulsive I am when buying, and it's an obsession and an addiction. In a matter of, I just started collecting MVS at about 2 weeks ago. I have 27 MVS games over there. It's 2 rolls, 2 stacks already, and more on the way.
And yeah, when you say inexpensive games, like those are the cheaper ones. Those are not cheap.
Right.
They're just not insane.
The most expensive one over that I have will be Garo Mark of Wolves, which was $536, but significantly less than my Garo Mark of Wolves on AES, which I have, which was $1,800.
God damn.
So you got $1,800 versus $500. Did I need to buy that when I already have it on AES? No, but I got caught up in it.
Like $20.
I have it. I have the limited run one up there. I have the whole limited run set.
Oh, nice.
You know, but it's Joel's fault. It's Joel's fault because we weren't talking in the chat last week, so I couldn't tell him I bought it, or I was planning on buying it. So Joel has to check in on me sometimes and be like, "So, what you planning on buying this week, Dave?"
Well, there was a time where me and Reggie and Cag and John were doing pickup videos every week, and it was like we were just like, we know when we got to Cag, it was gonna be like this 40-minute like a showing of all the Switch games he got. And I had done a thing in 2000, I think it was, I forget what year it was. I think it was 2019. I looked at my games. It was out of control. I had so many games, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna buy one new game for 2019, and that broke me.
Smart.
It broke me because as a YouTuber, you're always trying to keep up with the Joneses type thing.
Yes.
And like everyone's playing this, so you gotta play it. And it was the FOMO thing. It was the like, but I realized it was just like, you know, the freak of the week. You know, like everyone's, you know, just doing that girl today, but next week they're going to be doing someone else, you know. It's like, and so I did that, and it totally broke me. I was like, golly, like I didn't need to, like, no one's talking about those games. Nothing changed in my life, you know what I mean, by not playing it. And then that's where that started. And then after COVID, man, it really did. After like I got a second lease on life, I was just looking at it like
reevaluate a lot of things.
Yeah, it's like perspective and like, wow, those are plastic, you know. And the medical bills are one thing, but just like, hey, I could take my kids to, you know, somewhere I can make some memories with that money as well, you know. Stuff like that. And so
I'm with you on that.
I constantly think about that. I'm like, I should just take like 4 or 5, because I have some games that are like, I ended up luckily getting through trade and stuff that are very valuable, but I have no personal attachment to them. But they're flex pieces. That's all they are. They're like, hey, look what I got. That's all it is. And I'm like this close to just being like, no, because I just got LASIK done. I just got my eyes fixed, and that was like $5,000. And I'm like, I could just take like 10 games off the shelf here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like half of that, and just poof, done. So it's like, what? I don't know. Like, what should I be doing here? So,
well, you see, because you mentioned earlier, you know, you have this addiction to buying sometimes, right? Or like the compulsive mentality. So my thing is, if you want to get rid of it, get rid of it. But there's another dark side of the whole compulsive thing, because I was the same way. When you start selling, you keep selling.
You go crazy.
Because now you see all of this money, and now it's a competition of how much money I can get. You know what I'm saying? So you can dive deep into that side and get caught up too, and then you don't have anything. But if you don't have if you don't have a personal attachment to it, I'm always like, hey, get rid of it. Joel, like I said, I just keep saying Joel really helped me with that, man, because I bought 300 Switch games in a matter of 6 months or less.
Dude,
You know,
let's
it
just
was
say
so
they're $30 to 62. Like none of those, they ain't no cheap Switch games. Woo.
exactly. It was so bad. So now I don't even watch people's pickup videos. I don't watch people's collection videos anymore. I used to love that type of content, but I found that that type of content made me crave something that I never craved. You know, I would see something, oh my god, that's dope. I gotta have this. I gotta have that. No, I don't. So I just stopped watching that type of content. That content has been deleted from my watch list. I just don't even consume it anymore because it made me buy so much, man. So I always like to say thank you, Joel, because you saved me a ton of money. I mean, now I do. If we're gonna play something for the stream or we're gonna play it, me, Joel, Reggie, John, if we're gonna play it, I'll buy it. If we're not gonna play it straight up, I'll sit on it because I've learned that what I would spend $60 on day one will be $20 in 2 months or 3 months. That's $40 I saved. On average, I was buying 5 to 10 games a week. You know, new games. So just do the math. It was just insane. And my Switch collection, 90% of it, 80% of it, 90% of it was all sealed, Joe. Was all sealed. Yeah. Not even touched. I was just collecting to collect.
Yep.
Just to say, look at what I picked up. You know what I'm saying? Content.
I've been there. So that pace is insane. You're dead. So that's so. I mean, this what I just showed you. This is Black Friday. This is like a once in a year. I don't do this often. And these were all on sale for $20 Canadian or cheaper. Every one of these games. So all of this was like $250, like the whole thing. So not that crazy of a deal, but yeah, you got to dial it down and like control yourself and control those compulsions. And I watch pickup videos and stuff like that, but like I don't have that same urge and FOMO and stuff like that.
Right.
And I have no desire to own expensive games if I don't want to play them. None. I never will buy like some rare expensive game. Like say there's a $700 game and someone's like, you want it for $350. Nope. I really don't. I don't. Unless I'm gonna just flip it and sell it to somebody else for $700. I don't want it because it's just I don't care if it's a value. I just care about the game itself and if I'm gonna play it and if I want it, or like you said, if I have an emotional or personal attachment to it. My PS1 collection's different. Like that's never going away. Those are like my childhood games. I love them to death. Just seeing them on the shelf makes me happy. Even not playing them, like they're not going anywhere. But my PS4 collection and my PS5, oh man. So I stopped myself hardcore this generation. Like my PS4 collection's insane, and my whole PS5 collection is like 80 games, the whole thing. And that's it. I'm not collecting for it. I've like made that decision in my mind. Like this is it for me. Like I'm tapping out. I'm gonna like finish out some stuff on PS4. I'm gonna go backwards and get some more PS3, PS2, and PS1. I'm pretty much done, dude. Like I'm done. Like
you're looking for PS2. Then, I have out here in this hallway. I'm not even kidding you. I got like 8 boxes full of hundreds of PS2 games. It's crazy.
I'm sure there's some stuff in there I'd want, but
Reggie's already picked through a good number of it.
So what helped me too, believe it or not, is like my PS2 shelves, like they're full.
Right.
There's no spaces left, and so I'm like good. But this is where I have OCD problems and stuff. Like if I add a new shelf, that whole fucking shelf is getting filled.
Yep.
If I get one more PS2 game, I'm getting a whole row of PS2 games. Like it's so like I have to tell people too, like not to give me stuff because I'm like, you are opening Pandora's box. Like if someone gave me a Pokemon game, I'd be like, you son of a bitch. Now I have to collect Pokemon games. Like I would just start getting them all in there. Like I would just obsess over it. Like I can't. Like so, I don't even start on some stuff. I'm just like, no.
That's how it was with me too. Because my wife called me one day, This is when we first moved to America. And she goes, "Hey, I found this game. It's gold. It says Zelda. I've heard you talk about that in the past. I had 0 games at this point." And I said, "Honey, just leave it. Because you're open a can of worms if you buy that for me." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And then she came home and she had it. I still have the cart. And it's like, I call it the cart that started it all, right? Getting back into collecting. And it's just like, you just, and this, like, if you see these shelves, all this, at one point, that was all PS2.
I remember that, yeah.
And I had to take it out because it's just there's no room for stuff that I was actually playing, And you know what's cool is all that stuff was garage sales. All those games are 50 cents, $1. If you've been watching the show, me paying $5 for anything that's breaking the bank. I just don't do it.
Oh, that's how I am too. I'm a budget gamer. Like, I rarely will buy a game for $60 when it's new. Like, I do sometimes, maybe like 2 or 3 times a year, but like you said, I'm all about the thrill of the deal.
Yeah.
Like, I like finding them deals and the trades, and I find that more exciting than
I really do gotta go
$60.
though. Holy smokes.
Yeah, let's go.
You're good,
1
Joe.
in the morning.
So yeah, it's 1:07 here for me.
Do you want to record an outro for your video?
Yeah.
Before I go?
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right, guys, that was the video for the Game Awards. I really appreciate you guys checking it out. If you did enjoy this type of content, please go ahead and hit the like button. I would definitely appreciate that. And if you are not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate that. And then go ahead and check out Joel down at Media Glitch. And then go ahead and check out Joel over at Joe Rad. Subscribe to their channels. They have great content. I'm going to be over on Joe's channel later on this week, so you can come check out our podcast there. And then, like I said, we stream over on Joe's channel, sometimes on Media Glitch, not as much lately, but you can subscribe to him on Twitch and on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Peace out.
I think our award show review is longer than the award show.
Probably.
This video.
I talk a lot. That's my bad.
We'll edit it. He'll edit it down and get it to be where it needs to be.
There's a reason I do a podcast. I never shut the fuck up.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I'll probably send this to you at some point.
Whenever you get a shot.
I'll upload it tomorrow, and then you can do what you want.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's it, guys. We're out. I need to go to bed. It's so late already.
Me too. I was like literally like nodding off. I'm glad you kind of come. I was like, how late are we going? Are you guys in California? Because I'm screwed if you are.
No, this is dude. We used to do 8-hour stretches.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh my god. Easy. Dude, we went into the morning. Well, for me, we went into the morning one time. It was like the sun was coming up here in Cleveland. I was like, whew.
Thanks for everyone is here. Level 857 Sticks, Eddie, Mecha Yoshi just coming in right at the end. Gordo,
Yes.
Banky, all you guys are awesome. You know who you are. Thank you guys. I'm ending the stream because we'll just keep going.